Hello, greetings, BMX nerds. Welcome back to Kanode Knows, brought to you by Dig BMX. Happy New Year. Today on the show, we got Charlie Crumlish. I don't think Charlie really needs an intro. He's been around in the game for longer than me. He's an OG, and he's still holding it down. He's a unique individual. I've always liked how weird he is, and it was cool to catch up with him. So it's a long one, 3 hours, I think. I hope you guys enjoy. I sure had a good time. Charlie, thanks for coming on. Big shout out to Dig again. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button, hit subscribe. Seriously, if it does help a lot. So, and if you really want to help the show, share it with your homies, other BMX nerds who like these people that I'm talking to. So yeah, I think I said we got Charlie. Like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Hi, Charlie Crumlish.
Hey, Bobby Kanode, how are you?
Hey.
Longtime friend of mine.
Remember when we went to the Grand Canyon?
Yep, you don't though.
I sure don't. Will you remember?
I remember you going out exuberantly onto really narrow, really high stretches of rock, like Lion King kind of shit. And I remember being worried. And then do you remember that me and Craig and you were down, I think, with Ballman, and two guys came down? Maybe you didn't. Was it Ballman that was only there? Anyway, two guys. All right, two drunk guys. They see us out on this outcrop, right? You'll remember if you were there when I tell this story. These drunk guys go, "Oh, cool. We want to come down there." They start walking toward us in the Grand Canyon, and they start sliding down this hill. And at the end of the hill, 20 feet away, is like a 3,000-foot cliff, right? This drunk ass dude slides down. They go on the wrong side of the tree and slides, magically stops, and then walks back up. And then they come over to where we were. I've got a picture
so you almost
somewhere.
Saw somebody die.
Yep, really 10 feet away from seeing. If he had fallen, he would have slid and died, but somehow he stopped. And it didn't make sense because it was steeper and steeper. And he sort of just stopped. And I remember I took a photo on a disposable camera of his tracks, sliding and then stop. And then that was one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
That is so scary. Why? I would never want to be drunk and try and hike down the Grand Canyon.
They were crushing beers. We were crushing beers too. It's kind of a good place to crush beers. And I think that's maybe why so many people fall in.
I bet that I didn't go, but I feel like I should have been there. So I feel like I forgot it. And I can't remember my 20s at all. So it's what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's weird. I was just watching your come up interview from 7 years ago. And
I don't remember that interview.
Yeah, totally. You're wearing a mask and you're talking to Catfish and Adam. And it was it's interesting because
some shit hasn't changed.
Shit blew up.
Some shit hasn't changed, but some shit has changed quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we were talking about this before we started, and you said you got to let everybody know what you want now because everybody copying the old shit. Let's talk about that.
Because I made Bobby watch the new video because he would even watch it for I think I sent it to him 2 weeks ago or maybe a month ago.
6 days.
I think a month or two ago I sent him it before I got it done, and he never watched it. So I'm like, I don't want to do an interview based on, I'll talk about old stuff too, but you need to see what we're doing now, because I feel like we're a little more focused now. I'm off the booze, feeling good. I'm sharp.
That's right. 3 years off the booze.
Team's working good together. Yeah, 3 years almost in February. Yeah.
When you say that team's working good together, elaborate. How does the team work good together? You've been on multiple BMX teams, so what makes a BMX team work good together?
Some things don't change. The team chemistry is always important. You got to be friends kind of first.
Mm-hmm.
And then having each other's backs, not being selfish, being selfless, all in the name of the team kind of thing, playing your position. Like me, I'm a big, so I'm guarding the paint. If I get a rebound, I'm looking for an outlet pass to the, fast guard, someone running the fast break. On the offensive, I'm trying to crash the offensive glass. So I'm just playing that role, and everyone kind of has different roles that they play in the mix. And then also too, the approach that worked for us when we rode for Stranger back in the day, of kind of just doing trip videos and things like that in person. It's changed. I mean, we're doing an interview through the internet right now.
Yeah.
And I've tried to take this sort of thing to the approach of filming the full length videos or any other project where I work with people through the internet primarily now, working with other filmers, other riders, and trying to just get them to give us a glimpse into their worlds,
Right. Yeah. So that's one thing and it's interesting because I think Chad Shackelford, he did all of his own filming at first and then realized, I got to get footage from other filmers. And then that evolution happened. And I feel like it's kind of repeating itself to where Built Different is
network.
500 different filmers, but put together
Yeah.
cohesively. Well done.
That's part of the name.
Let's stick
too,
with
'cause, you know,
yeah, because you guys are built different.
yeah.
So you did an interview with Brant Moore. I'll put the link in the description where you guys go in depth on the whole Built Different video. But let's stick with this
Yeah.
basketball analogy.
I love it.
Who's the starting five for SNM and what positions are they playing? You said you're a
We
big,
got-
so you're power
Yeah,
forward.
we have twin towers low, kind of twin towers with myself and Hoder. Hoder's
Okay.
a 4, I'm a 5.
All
Hoder's
right.
more of like a Hoder
Who's
can stretch
taller?
the floor, you know. We're like exactly the same height. It's really weird.
6'3"?
Like 6'4" ish,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
okay.
probably with shoes 6'5" or something. But because that's how you measure basketball players. But they are all exaggerated about their height too. But yeah, so we got the twin towers, myself and Hoder. Trying to think of like who would be the point guard, who's distributing, you know, like I feel like we have a lot of fluid players that can play a lot of different positions outside of the bigs. So it's a lot of times I'll be filming, like this is like in person, we'll be on a trip and there's like 3 different tricks going down. I'm filming one on a camera. So Mike Stahl might be filming REA on an iPhone, and then Kareem is filming someone else on another iPhone, and we're filming 3 clips simultaneously, you know? And so it's like, I used to be so strict about what camera to use. And if you throw that out, you could be really, really productive. Like to the point of like, this is crazy. We just filmed, you know, we shot S&M wins in a week, and it was like a 20-minute video, 25-minute video. Or something.
That's pretty sick.
I'm like, this is awesome. just shoot everything on these damn iPhones.
Point guard Craig Passero or Dave
Yeah,
Crone?
he's got both of those guys have the build for it.
This is tough because there's like 25 riders in the video. And
Craig's a point guard.
Okay.
Craig is a facilitator because he's really cerebral with his riding, and he's so good at like picking out tricks for other people to do. You know, you got friends like that in your group, I'm sure.
He's Steve Nash. You know,
yeah, he's Steve Nash. He was actually Jason Kidd was at Photoshop. It was Jason Kidd's body with Craig's head. So it's ironic that Craig we're talking about as a point guard.
Yeah, for real.
J Kidd was the PG in New York for a while. I love that.
All right, so who's our 2? We got to finish this all the way through.
I think Crone at the 2, but then you got the bench too and stuff. I don't want to leave anyone out.
I mean,
so
the bench is heat. We got one
lineup.
more spot on the starting 5.
And it's a 3.
Yeah,
I want like a big wing. See, I'm like a bigger dude, so I think I like big lineups. Like when the Lakers won in 2020 with like huge lineup, like JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, LeBron,
who are the
AD,
bad guys in Space Jam? The fucking
Monstars.
Monstars.
Yeah, Monstars. Yeah. I love the Monstars. I was kind of rooting for the Monstars. Did you finish Space Jam too? Because I'm a LeBron stan and I didn't even make it all the way through.
No shot, dude. 10 minutes in, I was like, this is garbage. And
so on the wing, we could put let's bring in like international. We'll just put Jim at the wing, even though he's a little guy. He's incredibly strong for his size based on what I've seen. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's there's gonna be some mismatches, but we could switch him out on defense, and we got the twin towers guarding the hole,
the bench is deep. The bench is deep, dude.
He's out on the perimeter more anyway. So
yeah.
It's fast. Does anyone watch basketball and love BMX bikes? Boy, you're gonna love this podcast. Yeah.
So Jimma opening the video is a good choice. He's like one of my new favorite writers. You saw Tear the Club Up?
I've been kind of keeping an eye on him for a while. I feel like he was like lurking in the name is escaping me now, but Cooper Brownlee's series. It was a Focal Point.
That sounds
I think it was right. Focal Point was like the Australian sort of a props type of video magazine style 411 thing. Yeah, and I always just remember like who's this short dude with this like crazy style. You can't mistake him for anyone else. And then Baby Paul, his homie too. I was always kind of like, who are these dudes? These guys are sick, you know, like they really have their own thing going on, you know, and special man. He tried to make it to the States to film for his video part and got like denied at the customs. Like I thought he was coming to work in the warehouse. He's like, no, I'm just coming to spend my own money and film dangerous tricks for fun and for the love, you know, like, and they're like, no one would do that. You're fucking crazy, you know, like, so
you had to go turn around and go home.
Yep. And we're going to try to get him back this
Jimmy.
year, like properly and everything, like take care.
Do you have to be jabbed to come into the country now still?
I don't know. That shit is kind of like, doesn't in my, like I live right by the Canadian border and I go back and forth all the time and they don't check anything now. So
no passport.
Good. Oh no, passport, but not like COVID passport.
Yeah.
Might want to bleep that out because we're in the first 15. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For the monetization and shit, they'll ding us
Well,
for that. But
everybody make
yeah,
sure you go get vaccinated. Let's trust the science, and Dr.
yeah,
Fauci is an
sure.
angel. Um,
Yeah, that might get you dinged too, dude. I don't know about these algorithms. If you want to know what I really think about algorithms, is I think that they're sensitive to people trying to like manipulate them. And I think that algorithms truly do reward keeping it real with your content and making something that you just want to make that you're excited about instead of trying to follow a technique that someone else did
yeah,
to be successful, you know?
I agree.
So shout out to the robots.
Do
They're doing
you
this better than any human could have, you
and
know?
it's like evolving so fast too. Like if you
Yeah.
spend, 20 minutes on TikTok, it knows you and it'll show you what you want. Like it's
Luckily, I've
it's kind of
never
wild.
spent 20 minutes on TikTok, but yeah,
Good
I
for
know what
you.
you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones where it's like I have it on my phone, but I kind of wish I didn't because I know
We
about
same.
all the shit that it does.
Oh yeah, we use it for S&M and Fit. So any users out there, go follow those accounts. But I'm in there for 1 second. I mirror our post from Instagram or YouTube short from that day, and I'm the fuck out of there, dude. I don't look at it. I'm not scrolling that feed, man. No way. Yeah, it's scary over there.
I was listening to. Do you know who Tim Dillon is? He's a comedian.
Vaguely.
And
Like
he just had
Rogan Universe.
in
kind of
that
Rogan
universe.
Yeah,
He's one of my favorite comedians and podcasters. He talked to Gary Vee.
Yeah.
And Gary, you know who Gary Vee is?
Yeah.
He's always like, go garage sale, hustle, blah 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 blah.
He's
blah.
the gold pan seller, right?
Yeah,
He sells gold pans in the gold rush.
Yes,
Is that
sure?
Because if there's a gold rush, right? Like everyone's trying to start podcasts, everyone's trying to make some money on the internet, right?
Yeah,
you could do a better job in a gold rush, right? If I just post up and go, you know what? There's a lot of people rushing for gold over here. I'm gonna sell these pans, right?
yeah.
So Gary Vee's like, get your pans here. I'll teach you how to pan for gold. I'm a really good gold panner, but really he's just selling pans, and that's his way of making gold in a way.
I like that analogy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
he's
I respect the hustle. I can't lie on that, but I do think that people should be aware that he's a pan salesman. So if you're trying to sell pans, perfect. Yeah. But anything else,
I'm just picturing him doing infomercials for literal pans. But he was talking about the difference.
But like the pans that the prospectors had,
yeah,
the screen in the bottom, yeah,
like the
gold hat and a big mustache.
You seen the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
Yeah, Buster Scruggs, banger.
Yeah, so good.
What's your favorite one?
The gold painting one where he gets like
because he finds that big gold vein, dude.
Yeah, he's I forget what he's saying, but he's just talking to himself.
There's a built different connection. That character was played by Tom Waits. You know that, right? That was Tom Waits, the musician that played
the old man.
Yeah, he was really. It was hard to tell. He was really done up. And Clint's first song is Tom Waits, I Don't Want to Grow Up, and then the Ramones cover of Tom Waits, I Don't Want to Grow Up. So
Get
that's
the
fun.
fuck out of here. That's
throwing it in there. Yeah, film buff, baby.
Back to built different. That's super dope. Film buff. What's a good movie you've seen lately? I got my girlfriend. We got
Terrifier 1 and 2. Watch them immediately.
Terrifier?
It's the best slasher movie I've ever seen. And I grew up as a slasher buff. Like I was Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger every year for Halloween, like when I was a kid, like just watching Halloween, all of them on Halloween, and this movie it was an independent movie that the first one, the budget was $35K. And the director, it's Damien Leone. He was a special effects artist turned director, writer, producer for this movie. So he was able to do all the practical effects for the gore, like himself, to save money. And he's like an unbelievable, like, all right. So it's like hilarious, fucked up, like gory, like, dude, it's like just over the top slasher, but like dark comedy in house. This character's this clown named main character's this guy, Art the Clown, who never speaks. And he's just like so happy, like about killing people. It's like
that's
over
pretty
the top, dude. $35K for the first one. And then the second one, they got a budget of $250K and they made 12 milli so far.
Nice.
And I'm sure more now because Terrifier 2 is out now, like for streaming and shit.
Terrifier.
And it's an unbelievably like smart, funny, fucked up, gory, just insane movie. Like it's dope. Something, like I like mixes of comedy and something else, or I like blends of genres.
Yeah.
Shit like
Speaking of that, I just saw one that actually blends like the like. So it's about a girl. I forget the name off the top of my head right now, but a girl gets stranded, goes to an Airbnb that's double booked, and the stranger played by,
I
I think,
watched that one too.
what's it called?
Barbarian.
Yeah, dude.
Really
And
good
then
movie.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because like the first half
Sick.
of it is like M Night Shyamalan, like, or not M Night Shyamalan, but like Blair Witch Project. Like you don't see
Feels
the
like you
back.
know what's gonna happen, right? Like I've
Yeah,
seen this movie a
and it's
thousand times, and then it's like
very
boom.
scary,
No.
relatable shit. And
Yeah.
then as soon as the middle of the movie happens, it's like,
Yeah.
and then
So
it
yeah,
turns
if you
into a
like,
comically
yeah,
like slasher. You see the
exactly, yo. If you same
obnoxious
vein,
bad guy. Yeah,
if you like Barbarian, you're gonna love Terrifier.
sick. That's
Yeah,
dope.
Terrifier is raw, real raw, and like I don't know. I get so happy when I see people make shit that they just want to make. Like
Yeah,
you can tell that like all the decisions in this movie were like there was nothing that was too far. They just did exactly what they wanted to do, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying about the algorithms favoring people who do that. And
yeah,
when you produce a product that's like from the heart like that, oh my god, dude, it's way better than if you were to try to make a movie to be a successful movie. You know, like
yeah, for real.
this shit is raw, dude. It's like I get the same buzz watching something like that I do watching like a riding video from a scene. A
Yeah.
guy's killing it.
Do you still get
Yeah,
a good buzz from watching riding videos, like
yeah,
trick
oh
trick
yeah,
porn?
oh yeah.
Joe Simon
I just
called it
love
trick
it. I
porn,
don't
and
know,
I
man.
was like, that's interesting because it is like there's
When you
different
sit there and you
versions.
just watch trick porn for like an hour and just kind of take it in, you get so hyped to ride sometimes. But it's like the content that's out nowadays, I feel like there's not as much trick porn maybe as there was, you know, and it's like insta porn, trick porn, like it's like
Yeah,
pretty quick.
everything's just a quick fix.
I
I
like to
gotta
go
get
to a
my Instagram
world.
clips.
I like to go into someone's world for like a little bit, you know, like
Yeah.
that's why scene videos are so cool to me because you feel like you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, a company's video can feel like that too. If you're, you know, like have that kind of vibe together, like look into their world is like really interesting. And yeah, stuff that comes from the heart.
What was your
You know,
favorite BMX video that came out in 22? Because we're at the end of the year. This is the second to last day of the year of
recency
2022.
bias is like always a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what
It's hard
came.
to
You
remember
want to
what
give me a
came out.
list? Let's discuss a few things. I can't remember anything on the spot. If you ask me like how old I am right now, I wouldn't know.
I'm
Like
pretty
you
confident
know?
Chocolate Truck 2 came out
Oh
at the
yeah.
beginning of the year. It could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Nah, because they won last year's Nora, or was that this year's? Oh, it was this year's
It
Nora.
was this year's Nora.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
Then other full lengths. It's hard to think of full lengths
My
that
brain is
came
just
out.
like not. It's weird, man. I like
Yeah.
increasingly nowadays try to stay in the moment, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like harder and harder to you know, like look back at things like that, especially working in like BMX media and like being saturated with it. But I know I watched some raw ass shit recently that like really fired me up, and I'm like completely drawing a blank,
I'm drawing a
dude.
blank too. So Federal in Brussels or
Yeah,
Lyon
insane
or
video.
whatever.
Also, the animal video is really good that just came out. I really like the
Oh
way
yeah,
Brian Howard put
that
that
was
shit
super bomb.
together.
Yeah.
It was
He's
raw,
Ryan's
yeah.
holding it down.
He has his own little world. Like same kind of thing, you know. He's a cameraman. You look through the lens, and you just kind of see what they're doing, and it's like it's cool.
His
You get
spot selection and X up grinds are like
yep.
to the average person, they have no idea how difficult some of the shit Ryan Howard does is. Like,
And how many years of thought it takes to get to that point of
yeah,
studying the game and studying spots and experimenting and trial and error and all
yeah,
that shit, right? Yeah.
pure
Dude, some
BMX
other
nerds.
thing came out this year that I'm forgetting, and we should probably just
Le
keep it
Funk.
moving because I'm gonna feel bad. We could stick on it
Is
forever.
it Le
But
Funk? Fiend and Federal? That one?
that no, that was recent. That was really good.
That
But there was
slaps.
something I watched that was like a smaller, like not on company. It was like a crew, and it was like fucking awesome. And I'm drawing a blank. I like sent it to all my friends, like, you guys have to watch this. If we remember, we can
Burning
come
up.
back to it and you can chop it in,
Is
you
it
know?
Arizona or California or what East
Might have been
Coast?
mediocre at best. Part 5, I think it was 5.5. The
5.5 coming
night
soon.
version. Yeah. You understand the full length art form, you know?
Yeah, man, and I'm actually kind of like torn on it. I think I have enough right now to put out a 45-minute video, but I don't know how long to put. I want it to
Make
be
it as
30,
long.
30 minutes, dude.
Why?
Because
For other
it's hard.
people?
Yeah, no, just for me,
No.
my personal
Okay.
taste.
Good.
I
Okay,
think
good.
40 is like about as long as it should be. No offense, built different. It's 53. Lightworks.
I'll sit for 2 hours if
Lightworks
someone
was
makes a 2
yeah.
hour. Like, dude, like, all right, so you get done watching a 30-minute video. What do? You put on another 10-minute video and you put on a 5-minute video. Then you
No,
go on your phone, you watch like, not you. I'm
yeah,
talking about me or anyone.
yeah, true.
Why can't a video be an hour if it's just on the TV? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, I would hope no one's sitting on their phone watching Built Different. That's basically, you know, like,
Yeah.
so I don't think I used to think like that. I used to be like, no one's gonna watch this if it's this long. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, what about the people who want to watch something this long, like me? I
Yeah.
gotta make something for us, even if we're a smaller number. Because if everyone caters to the majority online, all the content will look the same. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
That's
yeah,
true. That's a
yeah.
valid point.
Got to make what
It
you
is. It
feel,
is my
and
personal preference. I want shorter, just because I'm tired of watching BMX videos. It's been 20 years of
mm,
watching BMX videos. Been watching them for even longer. Like you're pushing
yeah,
30 years.
I just love it. I don't know. I love it. I'm fucking obsessed with it, dude. I
Yeah.
love it. If there was no bike industry, I'd still be doing this shit. You know, if like, I don't know. You know, I just like, I think I just am like obsessed, like, and I've somehow kind of like made it into, you know, like a sustainable thing for me or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just my obsession with it that carried it there. Like, and I
Is
just
this
love
your only
being
job
out
right
there.
now?
Like, yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, I just work for S&M and fit behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, whatever they need media wise. I talk to the team to get media going, and talk to Melissa like daily, kind of bounce ideas. She's talking to filmers, I'm talking to filmers. Like, it's
Yeah.
awesome. We have a really good, going back to that team dynamic. Like, I think it's important for companies to kind of like people in the warehouse, in the office, on the bikes, in the streets, behind the cameras, behind the computers, like all need to kind of work as one, you know, like.
Yeah.
I've been at companies in the past where tensions popped up, like between warehouse guys or rider guys or whatever, like, and there has to be like a mutual respect there, you know, like
Yeah.
both are important, both are equal, one is not greater than the other.
Yeah. You
We're
can have
all,
like
you
a
know, like,
cancerous growth
yeah,
start with some
yep,
negative energy, and then it just spreads, and then it
yeah,
ruins
I've
the
seen
whole
it
company.
happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Good situations get ruined by cancerous tumors, you know,
Yeah.
but you got to just keep it moving. And if one of those does pop up, you got to get away from them, you know,
Yeah.
pretty much
So
all you can do.
maybe because like you're in that world, what's the there's been turnaround with Fit and my friend Justin and Maloof, and they both worked for them, and then things,
Hold on
and
one
I have no
second.
idea what's
My
going on.
headphones just died. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on.
Yeah, sorry. It's okay. Yeah, it does look like you're ducking the question.
My headphones just died. God, dude. Technology, right?
Am I right, dude?
All right,
Boom.
gamer headset to the rescue. I was not ducking that question.
No, we'll get back to that question, but also
Word.
real quick, you do the Insta 360,
Yep.
and I was talking to you, and I was like, I'm gonna get one. It's gonna be so sick. And then
Got one?
I bought this stupid thing.
That's okay. That thing's pretty cool.
It's pretty fun. You can clip it, but it's not a sphere. It's not spherical.
Wait, is that
It's,
not two lenses on either side?
no, dude. It's just a mini. Fucking,
It's not a 360. It's a mini action cam.
It's
Damn.
no. It's literally
this,
called Insta 360 Go, and I was like, that's got to be it.
Does
I
it
know
have 360-degree technology?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Which is ridiculous. And I
Well, I'm
bought it.
sorry
And
I
I was
told you to
so
buy that.
excited.
You
It's
should have
just a-
bought this one.
I know, the
Insta
brand
360
name.
1R that I
Yeah.
use. Yes.
The
But yeah,
Go
no, that
takes away half of the sphere.
shit. There might be still a way to use it. Like mine isn't. I just have it on this like janky, like broken tripod that I hit and put a peg on. Like,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't really matter if you have a selfie stick, dude. We use sticks sometimes and just stick
I
it
know.
right next to the rider and run right
What's
next.
the
to
battery
it.
life like on that thing?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like two 4K videos, you know,
Yeah,
like
true.
fisheye, like
That's what I would
but
imagine.
I bring a portable charger, and anytime we're not doing a clip, I just plug it right back in, you know, and
Nice.
like keep a battery, and yeah, what can you do?
I also have a portable charger. You know,
Those are the best. Yeah, I have like multiple portable chargers some days when we go out, just because those die too, you know. But they charge
Yeah.
quick. That's
So-
cool. They charge quick, die quick, whatever.
I love that, and I'm totally gonna get one. That could be my Christmas present to myself as a 360 cam, because I heard you were talking about it on Brant's YouTube channel. Just like you
It's
can have your
awesome.
homie hold the thing just close to your back wheel,
Oh.
and then you get to like actually decide what's
Yeah.
framed up and shit.
And you can focus
yeah.
more on the tricks. You can focus more on story. You can focus more on B-roll, like all the things
Yeah.
that aren't technical film.
I just watched
or
one
whatever,
clip on
you
your
know?
Instagram where you do a trick and Kareem's filming, and you don't know Kareem's filming until you make
It's
you
funny.
slam dunk the basketball, and then you pan over,
He's
and
just like-
obviously he's in the shot the whole time, but you don't
Yeah.
show it until the end. It's pretty sick.
There's a few clips that we remember working on a new BMX through video, and where we pull it all the way out, and you could just see someone following someone, and then someone doing a line on like a jersey barrier. Like
Yes.
it's so funny.
It
I want
is.
a little more outside of the box, like
Yeah.
for our stuff, just
There
because.
was there was a
you know,
skate company
S&M's
that did that shit with the sphere, the 360 camera. They did it early on. I can't think of
Yep.
the name.
Ty Evans did it with like a gigantic three hundred
like
thousand
a
dollars, you
proper
know, like
setup.
yeah, like that goes on a helicopter usually, like to
Yeah.
shoot movies, but he
And
put it
now
on his
we got a
van.
toy. We got a toy
Yeah. Now we
sphere.
have a $300 toy that's amazing. And like, yeah, like the quality's not the best, but I don't care. Like, I think people still see the trick you do. And I watch
Dude,
it
the
on like,
quality's plenty good. The
yeah, I watch it
audio
on like
is the
my
only thing.
70-inch friggin' screen and it looks good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what more you need. Well, how big is your screen? You know,
Yeah,
like, what do you
exactly.
got?
It's
Yeah.
it is what it is. All
Yeah.
right, so back to our question. It's refreshing to hear you say good things about behind the scenes at S&M because I have two friends that quit or got fired or
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
My
What's the
friends too.
story?
Yeah. Some of like
Yeah.
Maloof is like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's just like I went through when I first started working there, you come from being like a street rider or like a raw, you know, like, and then you work for a company, right? So like I think there's a huge adjustment like
Yeah.
from making your own stuff to like, okay, what does this company like need? And not just what do I think it needs, what do the owners think it needs, you know,
Yeah.
like, and where can we meet in the middle on that, you know, like how can we I think it just comes down to like personality types and like um kind of like what I was saying earlier about like I've been in situations with different companies where like we just weren't on the same frequency at all. And I think I just for whatever reason ended up kind of like I'm a similar frequency with Melissa and Moeller, and it sort of just works naturally. And I'm not sure why I
That's dope.
haven't encountered like, you know, the friction or whatever that like or the difficulty that other people do. But I just try to keep a good perspective that they are the ones putting up
It's
the
their shit.
money.
Yeah,
They're the
exactly.
ones that could
It's a
lose the
job.
money. I want them to make money because that's good for me because I work for them.
Yeah.
What do you guys like? I just try to keep them involved in the process as much as possible because that's what I would want if
Yeah.
that was me in that position, you know?
That was a
Super
big learning
simple.
curve because it happened to me at Sparky's when it became a job, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like they have final say on like,
Yep.
nope, can't use that song. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
but this is my art, you know, and I had to like
This is my art.
learn to
But then you know what you
separate
could do?
ego from the actual work, and then
This
that
is what you
has
can do in that
done well.
situation. You take that song and you put it in the mediocre at best folder. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
You have to
Yeah,
have your own things going on, like outside of that, so you can truly express whoever you are.
yeah,
And then you should also be able to express yourself within the company.
yeah,
If you feel like you can't, there's an issue, you know, but you also have to reflect sort of everyone. Like I was saying before, that down to everybody that works there. Like I kind of look at S&M and Fit as like one, like kind of an organism that I try to like read the pulse on the whole thing. Cause then you kind of like, I don't know. It's weird that that comes into making bike videos and stuff, but I'd like hit up my friend James Eason in the warehouse who does Factory Fridays. Like he shoots those on his phone for us and I edit them. And I'm like, hey, can you give me a clip of some dudes welding for the intro built different? You know, like, and he's involved in that. Just it's like
yeah,
this whole thing, you know, and communication is key. I think like some people like are better at communicating than others. That's like, and it's okay. Like, so
yeah,
I think so like you have to have like good communication skills to like express yourself properly. Like if you felt you couldn't use that song, maybe like you have to like come up with like a, you know, like a pitch or something like, or just
yeah.
like I
No,
said, put it in the folder
here's
if
why,
it's
blah blah
truly
blah.
passionate. What was the song? Was it
Uh,
Sandstorm?
no. So I mean, that example, I'm trying to remember.
Was it Ba with a Ba?
It was just I think I just remember generally like when I moved to Florida, I'm working in the office, and then I show them
Yeah.
something, and I'm super stoked on it, and they're like, let's do it
Yeah,
this
yeah,
way,
yeah.
and I had to like swallow my pride and be like, okay, yeah, we'll do it this way, and that was like hard for me. I
Yeah.
had to learn that, but then as time goes on, and then you're working with actual clients, like outside of
Oh
BMX,
yeah.
especially, like taking feedback and not taking it personally is
Yeah.
pretty crucial.
I
Yeah,
welcome the feedback. I recognize that everyone has a different perspective on life, and that's valuable like to the final product. They can improve it. I like grew up like this with my friends, like BMX Foo.
yeah,
Like I edited most of that, but like we all made the video. Like
yeah,
I would make a test copy with my friend Brad Hill. Like we kind of did it together, and he'd edit some stuff. I edited some stuff for the first 2 or 3 videos, and then I kind of like started kind of just grabbing all the footage myself because I'm a control freak, you know, and or was much more of one then, right?
yeah,
And so like we do these screenings every week at wherever we were smoking weed in a circle, you know, like and getting drunk and like just watching the videos and then hearing the feedback, and then I'd be like, okay, and I wouldn't take anything to heart because like I might really like this song, but I don't know how it hits someone else, like, you know, like
yeah,
so if you can make something that a whole room of people that all have different views, like chances are that thing is better than just a thing that maybe you really liked,
Yeah,
like
for
in a
real.
weird, like but what is better? I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you like it
exactly. What is
more
better?
or does everyone
It's
like it
art.
more?
It's
Yeah, it's
subjective.
exactly.
There
So
is
if you want
one
to,
example
yeah,
that I'll tell you though. When before I started working for Sparky's, I did a Ballman Welcome to Shadow video, and I used "Sexy and I Know It," and
nice. I remember that
it
video
just
vividly.
hit. It
Yeah,
everything
it
just
hit.
hit, and then I went back and forth with them for 2 months, and I was just like, I insist.
We
They
have to.
actually, I put a different, I took the same timeline and put a different song in and sent it to them, and they were like, "Well, this doesn't hit at all," and I was like, "I guess we got to
I
use
told you
"Sexy
it
and I
doesn't
Know
hit.
It."
Yeah, I tell
Still proud
I
of that
sometimes
video.
will have to put my foot down a little bit just because I'll know when something is like, like I've been doing it
Yeah.
long enough that when something is like really,
Like
and
Hoder's
sometimes it's
song and
hard
Built
for
Different, dude.
that
Like
one's
if
perfect.
they wanted you to change that, I would have been mad. Like
No,
that.
that came in last minute. And actually we had a whole different remember we were talking before and I was gonna send you a link, but the video wasn't done and he had a 2 song part. I'm not gonna say the songs because like I said, those are in my folder now.
Okay.
And it was so different but it had to be the song that it is now. It
Yeah.
just had to be.
Yep.
And I woke up one morning and I think I just like might have heard that song in a meme or like I might have it come on Spotify radio or some shit, like listening to some like classic rock station or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we almost used that one for hot dogs too, but I was like too drunk and stupid and disorganized, and it sort of got lost in the mix. And then it had to be that song, had to
It was
be,
so
yeah. So
cool
there's
because
certain moments when it has to be something, and you got to just put your
when
foot
it
down.
first came on, like Hoder's part is coming, and then you hear the dun, dun, dun,
I
dun, dun,
remember
dun, dun.
this. I remember
and
this.
and I was like, yeah, I was like, is this just gonna? There's no way they're using that song again. And then I
No,
realized, oh, it's that one,
we
the
will
one where
use the
there's like
song
a
again though.
lawsuit against, like Vanilla Ice
Yeah.
got sued for
Yep.
taking that shit, which is fucking hilarious.
That's the OG. Vanilla Ice got sued. So
Yeah,
it's funny too because like the Vanilla Ice version is such an immature version, and that was the immature Hoder, and now this is the mature original sample.
yeah,
Like, and it's like a very refined, mature Hoder that we see before
yeah.
us on the screen. And you
So
never
sick.
see this dude, and he's got like this huge part full of like tons of clips. Like,
Yeah,
and a thing too that I tried to tell all the riders when we were doing this. Not everyone really like. Obviously, everyone's going to do their own thing, but I was just really emphasizing like, don't like you don't have to kill yourself. I don't care. Go out and ride and just have your buddy point whatever camera he has at it, like
yeah,
and like I made a trip up there and like we did a little bit of in person, but Colton Knutson for the most part filmed Hoder's part and did a great job. And he just is in Hoder's world and Hoder's comfortable there. And I don't think you can capture that when you're on a trip with someone sometimes.
true.
Others
Yeah,
killers that just kill it at home when they're comfortable in their own element.
yep,
I think I said on the Brantcast something like if you want to go capture certain types of animals, you have to go to where they hang out. Like
yeah,
you can't just be like, I want to go film a zebra in Central Park. Like it doesn't work like that.
yeah,
Like,
for
you
real.
gotta go to where the zebra is sometimes. You know?
So when it comes to making this Built Different video, I know firsthand that the hardest part for me is like choice wise is like, okay, who opens it and who closes it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
How many was it clear to you from the beginning, or did it take some thinking, and how did
A lot of
Jima
thinking.
end up being the first?
I talked to so many different people because when you're making a video, like you're sometimes like you're too close to the sun. Like you can't really see. It's so fucking bright. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
I know
like there's so
exactly what you
much
mean.
going on. You're like, I need to take a step back, but I can't because I need to get this done, like and there's so much work to do sometimes, like just with audio, all the stuff behind the scenes, like that people don't even think about really. And the part order, Jimma like wasn't first initially, but
Who was
in
first initially?
retrospect,
Just curious.
it started with DGAF riding to Star Wars, the Darth Vader. Like it was a total different video, dog. Like, but it
That is
ended up being
different.
the right video. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it was like I made that a long like 8 months ago. He had a couple clips, and I started his part, and I'd be like, it'd be so funny to start a video with Star Wars, and like,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, like this isn't as strong an idea. It was more like a personal thing that I felt was strong, but taking a step back, I think it's much better in its current form, like just like I think DGAF's part is stronger now. And I
Yeah.
think Gemma opening is stronger. And I just think where DGAF's part falls, like it's kind of like an epicenter there too. Like there's like a peak in the video on his thing
Yeah.
that it needs there. And it's just, Ben Silver was the main dude that like kind of I put him on like the track listing. Like he was like, I'm not sure about the order. And I talked to a bunch of people. Greg Henry, he was pretty helpful too with like he told me that it was like a sandwich at first, like it was street
Yeah.
trails.
Street trail street.
That
Yeah.
was unintentional. and I was like, I don't know if I want to mix it up because these trails parts you kind of stay in the woods between the two parts, like, and I'm not sure. And then I just after talking to like Melissa more and like the team and stuff, we're like, it's S&M, it kind of has to be blah, 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 like all over the place, like keep
It's
you
so
kind of
well
like
rounded,
reeling a
dude.
little bit.
That's what I was thinking about. Is because like most videos these days are either
Yeah.
all street or all
Yep.
fast and loose bowls and dirt. But fast and loose boys, no hate on that. That's fucking
I
fast and
like
loose can do
both.
no wrong. I love them all. But this
If you
video that
look
you
into their
made
world, yeah,
goes back and forth between there's park clips, dirt clips. It's BMX as fuck is what it is. It's pretty cool.
I just tried to, yeah. I think a big part of how that comes off is because of all the different filmers, and it's all the riders in their own environments doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And that makes it more like the energy in the clips comes off of the friends hanging out and Clint with his family hanging out. And it's like you get little glimpses into people's lives. And
Yeah.
I
It
think
was
that
really
that
cool to
gives you
see
that
Clint.
kind of a, these people come from places, and like
Yeah.
they have stories, and Hoder has such a crazy story, and everyone like Hoder using the same song, like that's kind of like a part of his
Special.
story,
Yeah.
it's like little things that all come together at the end. There's a lot more that I'm sure I'm like forgetting, but tons of stuff like
Super
that.
special.
Try
Why
to
did you
build
put a
up stuff
question mark
in,
at the end?
because it's never over.
The end?
Never
Question
the
mark?
end.
And then
always got
I sat and I watched the entire credits waiting for a post credit
I
scene.
put that.
You son of
There
a
might be
bitch.
one for YouTube. I love
Okay.
post credit scenes. We
Yeah.
just were down to the wire. There was two things I wanted to do at the end that I didn't get to for the credits. So one of them is a post, but I want to do one that's the Where Are They Now? Like the gangster movies would do with like black and white photos of everyone. Like
Yeah.
that was on my
so
checklist.
good,
It was on the checklist. It's still on the checklist. So the YouTube drop is going to be like a kind of like reloaded, like same music and everything, same everything, but better audio mixing because I'll have more time to do it.
Yeah.
Better, more polished. Just same thing, more polished. That's all.
I can't wait for that post credit. Where are they now? That's gonna be amazing.
I don't even know what it's gonna be yet, but you just told me, and I'm like, yeah, we should have one. That should be hard.
Yeah, I sat and watched the whole scrolling things, and I was looking at the time, and I was like, "Is there gonna be something else?" Because all because of the stupid question mark. I was like, "There's gonna be a banger after this,"
There is like
Another
we're working on a documentary, so that's sort of what it's alluding to.
No
We
shit.
haven't really told too many people. We could like bust that out here.
That's
a huge
dope.
S&M documentary that I've been capturing tapes for like a long time now. Like,
Oh damn! Did like Moeller just pass over
Yeah.
mini DV tapes?
he had stuff that's been in the building forever, and then he's got friends who had stuff.
Are you guys doing new interviews and shit? Like,
Crazy stuff.
Is it same
Yep.
style as Built
We're
Different?
planning
As in,
that.
like
We're gonna do the multiple. Sorry, go ahead.
as in like contracting multiple
Network.
people to so like it's
Gotcha.
a group project and then you put it together. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I don't know about like, I don't know if you call that like a producer role or something like that, but something
Yeah,
along
that's
those lines
producer.
of kind of like,
You're directing, producing, kind of.
I would
Like,
say Moeller's sort of like the director, because he's like, this has been like the documentary he came to me about and was like, we should do this.
yeah,
And he has like the vision for that, and then I'm like archiving the tapes, and when I see those, I'm kind of like, okay, I see a scene here, I see a scene here. I'm splitting them up. Right now we haven't gotten interviews or anything like that, but we're planning them. And yeah, like those will be contracted out just because like myself and Stu like can't be everywhere all at once, but when we
Right.
are, like Stu Johnson also is like going to be a massive part of this project.
yeah. And
But,
he's
yeah,
perfect for it.
it's-
He's done it. He's done a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I have like, yeah, there's like, I don't know, 40 hours of like footage from the
Is there
80s
anybody here
onward.
that has fucked with S&M in Arizona?
I'm sure, yeah. The
It's like-
Gons.
Gons was on S&M?
Yeah, before he started
Yeah.
skateboarding. No, I was just joking.
Dude, Adam22 messaged me and he said that was a low point in human communication. When you
yeah, but
asked
he
for that
noticed
point.
it, right? He noticed
Yeah.
it. He was entertained. So, yeah. Yeah. I think S&M has had roots there. Standard had like sort of like roots there too. So it was like, I think there was some, I don't know anything
I
about
think
the
you're right.
backstory, but I know we hooked up
was
Gons.
on S&M.
And I know like
OG.
Troy might have lived there for a little bit, or he might have just like done trips there and been tight with the filmer Els,
Yeah.
like Shut Down
Yep.
and Els Bells and all those classics.
Well, then, yeah, there's the dude. So I'm offering my services. I'll
Yeah.
set up an interview.
Are you the dude?
Sweet.
Sweet.
Els or
Would love to have you
Gons
involved.
is gone, I think.
Gons is in Ventura, but any other,
Yeah.
I'm sure that some S&M lifers have ended up in your area, and that's awesome. Yeah, that's how it works, man. I'm like, I know this guy near here.
Yeah.
Let me see if that's
Let's get Rat
Yeah.
Boy involved in that
Yep.
documentary for no reason.
Yeah. Why not?
That Rat Boy could like tell stories about the guns.
Yeah. Oh, I have a ton of footage of the Gons. That's like
That's so
old footage of the
sick,
Gons.
dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
I just want to say too, like, thanks to Chris for like trusting me with something like this too. Like, this is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm opening these boxes of tapes, and it's like, when they open the box in the like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and like the
Yeah, that's
gold
cool.
light hits them in the face.
Yeah.
That's how I
Yep.
feel every time I like unwrap one of those tapes. And like, it's an adventure too. Like, I have to track down a mini DV deck, and like
Yeah.
find a working one. And
Oh
like
my God, I hate capturing tapes, dude.
like, yeah, but it's kind of like the whole in the context of this project, when what's on these tapes is the most exciting
That's true. Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
like, it's, let me get these huge things set up and plug in tapes.
So
and
when
like,
you say deck,
yeah,
you're gonna buy a machine that you put the tape in and it captures it for you, like instead
I've
of
got
using a
one
capture
here.
cam. You
It's
have an
basically
actual
like
deck.
it's like a fancy mini DVD VCR, with fast
Yeah.
forward, and like you just plug it into the Firewire and use that as a controller instead of using fast forward on your camera, basically.
I think I
You
need
know,
to do that because
it's like a camera without the camera built into a deck.
I either need to do that or like buy because like whenever I go to capture footage, it's a nightmare. Like I have
Yeah,
a adapter from Lightning to
and they're all
FireWire.
janky. Yeah,
Yeah, and then that plugs into the camera, and there's always something that doesn't get
dropping
recognized in Premiere.
frames.
I have to use an older version of Premiere Pro to do it. I
Yeah.
also
Yep. I
need
was
to
using
use my old laptop. Like,
iMovie, I think. I think I'd use
yeah,
iMovie to capture everything, and it
and
would like split everything into clips. When it would change camera angles, it would auto split them all, and then I'd have to
yeah,
assemble them, export, and then I'd send them all in with like notes, of like, this scene here has potential for this or this and this, or
that's so
you guys are
tedious,
listening to a
dude.
song on a
Yeah,
boombox in this clip, and I think we could use that for a sound bed for a montage, like,
that's
and we're
dope.
just little pieces that end up connecting the puzzle in the end, I guess. I
That's
don't know how we're
exciting.
gonna, like, but it's gonna happen. So
That
excited.
it's weird. That type of shit gets me more excited than like a trick porn video at this point in my
I could
life.
appreciate both.
I'd love
Maybe
that.
it's because trick porn has become so homogenized with like the tricks that people are doing most of
Yeah,
the time. Like, I'm not trying to call anyone out because there's so many incredible riders, but I think that, like, I think people need to let their freak flags fly a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, really get out there, get weird, be you. Don't
yeah,
try to be someone else. Like, if someone else has done a trick, maybe explore a different area of riding. Like, so much stuff has been done that I think that's harder than ever. But like, that was our philosophy growing up, was just like, find the unexplored area and explore it, so to speak, and like,
yeah,
I think right now that is the BMX documentaries, because there hasn't been any of those.
yeah.
But I still love watching like passionate riders like do some crazy shit that like that opens your mind, not just like, oh, that Pegs Hard truck driver down that 100 stair sure was good, wasn't it? Like, oh yes, it was much better than the one I saw last week on a 99 stair. This rider is better.
this rider is supreme.
He is a superior rider. One more stair.
Oh shit.
Like, just get fucking weird. Ride your bike backwards, take your wheels off, and grind a handrail. I don't know.
Who do you like right now? Give me 4 Mount Rushmore of weird creative riders.
Right now?
Yeah, right
Of
now.
weird creative. Okay. Tate, Eric.
Tate Ross Kelly, Eric Elstrom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dice K.
Dice K?
And yeah, and then
Who's Dice K?
Dice K is Motobunka.
Oh.
Their whole movement could be like one of the heads on the Rushmore.
Yeah,
could be a Motobunka logo. And then, man, I just escapes me because I watched a video the other day that really blew my mind. I want to say too, like, Lewis Mills definitely has his own style, even though like, like the way he rides is totally unique. So it's not just about like what tricks you're doing either. It could be how you ride. It could be how you do a full cab. It could be how you do a bunny hop.
It's beautiful watching
and
him move
everyone, I grew up, wanting to ride like certain riders too, but I think that you got to inject your own sauce, and he's doing a really good job of that.
Yeah, and now a whole generation.
You put him on there because he is like a
Lou.
different kind of creative rider.
That's
and like you said, the influence spreads from there because someone's doing something different.
Yeah.
Stands out.
I see it like the pattern is like a young kid will learn all the tricks because you're young and hungry and you want to just learn everything. And then when you get to the level of like you're filming parts, now you have like this big bag of tricks that you can just like, salt bait a little bit of this there and a little bit of that there.
Yeah, I love it. And like young kids should watch old videos, and there's so many tricks in there you could steal.
Yeah, dude.
Use them for your own.
So in Brandt's interview, you said that you went through and you studied basically all of S&M's videos, and I'm curious, like, what's the standout video from the past that people
Oh,
might
for
be
me,
sleeping on?
all right. So for anyone who might be listening to this podcast, and might be into my videos that I make, 44 something was a video I watched growing up a lot. S&M 44 something is like, I don't think it's the one that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that one, but it's really special to me because like we got it off Dan's comp, when it was on sale, probably in the late 90s or whatever, like after it had come out a little, like they got it sitting around, but we got it. And it was just like, I definitely knew about S&M bikes at that point, but I was like, let me check out this video. And it just was so different. And so like all the videos that were coming out were very formulaic. It was like incredible videos. Don't get me wrong. Like Road Fools, when you open a Road Fools, you know what you're
Right.
getting. Or like, Criminal Mischief, Wide Awake Nightmare. Those two videos are pretty similar. They're very different with the writing and the editing and the songs and everything, but like the format of those videos is similar. But then like the S&M video was just like wacky off the wall. They got like fake TVs cut out with words going through it, and they got this thing made, and there's a fake DJ spinning records with bikes in the background, and they got the dude from Twisted Sister pretending the bike's his cock. Like it just made such an impact on me. And I think it opened up a little bit. Like I think when you're growing up, you slowly like, oh, that's okay to do. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay to do. I'm not going to get made fun of. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool
exactly.
guys are doing that, like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. You're like careful. You don't want to get bullied or whatever when you're like in high school, middle school,
Yeah,
like,
for real.
yeah,
Concerned about other people's opinions.
which you shouldn't be. I think
Yeah, and
as
I
you
think
grow up,
as you
that
get older, you realize like you just have to do like when homies say some shit is cringe, it's like get over it, dude. Like just do what you want to do. If you want to do something that other people think is cringe, do it.
don't say cringe, destroy the part of you that cringes, or don't
Yeah.
cringe, destroy the part of you that cringes. That's
Yes.
what it is. Yeah,
Exactly. I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because like exploration like might look really clunky at first, like,
Yep.
where are you guys sailing? You're gonna, you can't sail out that far. You're doing it wrong. We sail with the land. That way you could see the land. Don't
Yeah.
sail that way, and then they find the new land or whatever,
And now we
like,
on a boat.
I'm not trying to glorify manifest destiny or anything like that. But you know what I
You
mean?
white
Or even
colonialist
like space
oppressor.
exploration, right? Yeah, we gotta watch it on here, dude. I know a guy that got canceled on a podcast not too long ago. See you
Actually,
later.
dude,
No, I think he's back. I think he's back, but whatever. He could do his thing. I don't really give a shit.
I don't know. Is he back?
I hope not.
So one of one of the questions so we put out a little poll, questions for Charlie. Let's see.
Yeah,
And
let's
I'm
do
trying
it.
to tell a good Montana Ricky being a kook story. Dude, man, will.
There aren't any good stories.
What comes to mind? What's the first story of him being a kook coming to mind? Montana Ricky? I respect you, but
It doesn't have to be a good story.
yeah,
Just a story.
just give me a Montana Ricky story.
I'm good. I'm really good, man. I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. Yeah. The once there was a guy named Ricky, and now there's not. Yeah, that's the story.
It's a
I
poem.
just don't want to deal with it too much. I could speak on it a little bit. He's just like someone that was like really disrespectful toward me, spread rumors and lies to like bike shop owners when he was like on the phone with them, telling them that I had a kid that I wasn't paying child support for.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's a story, right?
Yeah.
And so I got that back from multiple people who said, "Hey, do you have a daughter that you don't pay for?" And I said, "No."
What the fuck?
And allegedly, he was telling lots of people that to try to just like defamate me, or I don't know, like I don't understand. And then to my face was nice all the time, so hard to deal with someone like that,
Yeah,
and
for real.
thought I'd squash the beef because we had some friction and whatever. I just was being honest with him, like, like I feel like you have an anti-rider stance, like it's pretty clear. You've said there shouldn't be pro riders, and I don't think you understand what that means, because there needs to be a mutual respect in our relationship, and that didn't happen. And then thought we squashed it as men. And then 2 weeks later, the podcast dropped. And then when that was going on, I heard these things about him lying about my daughter that doesn't exist. So
yeah. Well, congrats on your daughter, dude. I'm proud. I'm happy for you.
It's like he just wanted to find the thing that like would make me the most despicable person possible, maybe.
That's pretty
like,
bad, yeah.
So that people would like him more than me. I think it was basically.
That's pretty wild.
Well, good try, buddy. Yeah, moving on. Is that a good story?
Yeah, that
Cool.
gives a little bit more
Is that what you were
context.
looking for?
Yeah,
My
sure.
dog's going nuts,
There we
sorry.
go. No, I feel you. I've had
Yeah,
to leave the podcast in the middle just to let Trip out.
he's
Dude.
tripping. But yeah, I just think that negativity aside, like I really just only approach like working for companies with like love, respect, let's do this, passion, communication, open lines of communication. And then like when you encounter people who are like really manipulative,
Yeah,
it
some
can
people
affect your
suck.
mental health really. It can affect your mental health greatly. And I was in a place where I believed that I had no value as a rider for a bit because of that, because of the way that I was treated by people over there.
Yeah.
They told me, like you're
Yeah.
past your prime. You're delusional if you think you're selling bike parts. They said that. I
Oh
probably
wow.
shouldn't be going this in, but you
Yeah.
know what, Bobs? I don't care because you know
Yeah,
what?
fuck them.
That was fucked up,
Yeah.
And this year was like, I don't want to focus on the negative too much, but the happiness I feel now, the comfort level I feel on my bike, um, I just feel so much more clear minded after ditching people that were telling me
Yeah,
I
fuck
was a
yeah.
delusional piece of shit. Because you
Yeah.
know what? I think you got to be a little delusional to like do this shit. What the
100%.
hell? Like you got
Yeah.
to stay on that. But as far as having no value in the space, that just I don't know why you'd want to tear your team rider down like that.
Yeah. That's
Crazy.
super,
So
super
those are
negative.
my two stories about that.
All right. Next
Yeah,
topic.
man. Yep. Positivity topic, please. Or we want to get more tea.
Tony Malou says, "Are you the highest biker?"
I think me and Hoder are about the same height. About the same. Neil Harrington is higher though.
Yeah, how tall is Neil Harrington?
He makes me feel short. It's crazy.
He's like
And I
6'6",
actually,
6'7".
nothing better than giving Neil a hug because it's like you feel like this little he's protecting you,
Yeah,
and
dude.
like whereas if I'm in a group, I'm usually we
Yeah.
would be designated as protectors,
I
whatever.
can relate to that, dude. I'm a big
Yeah.
man, but when I have a bigger
Yeah,
homie,
bigger. You're like, this is
it's like,
awesome.
oh wow.
Yeah. You see it in
Settle
dogs.
in there.
Dogs will act different, like a little dog next to a big dog acts different than a little dog next to a smaller dog, It's like
Yeah,
that
for
kind of
real.
thing. Yeah.
Size dynamics, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
What's an average day in the life for you right now? Just looking at my notes. I'm curious. What's Charlie Crumlish? Where do you live?
6:30 wake up, Buffalo, New York. I'm about 5 blocks from the Niagara River.
6:30
on
wake
the
up for
Canadian
real?
border. Yeah. What?
Nice, my man.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then I start working on my stuff early. Depending on if Melissa is in the office in Colorado or Cali, it's like 10 a.m.
Yeah, you
ish.
got to work on
check
West Coast time.
in, or maybe 11. Yeah. Something like that. We start, I'm like, this is what I worked on this morning, from yesterday, whatever, finished up, for example, like a Milky Power Hour, and got these for Instagram, to go up at this time. What else we got, And then she's like, oh, this, and that, reminding you about this, and that. Cool. All right. Like, and then it's like long-term projects are always just sort of back burner, and we, keep those going. And day-to-day stuff is like a balance of those two things, like
Yeah.
a good chunk of time dedicated to the daily grind of like social media and potentially getting clips myself, going out riding and stuff like that, or clips of someone else up there in town, which whatever needs to be done that day, which is it's usually on the computer, but sometimes it's off. And then finish that stuff up, and then usually that'll be like a ride.
Is posting on social media part of the job for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're in charge of posting for
YouTube,
S&M's account?
Instagram, TikTok, Fit, yeah, like
The whole thing.
all this stuff. Melissa helps out a lot with the Fit side, a couple other people, but
Nice.
and S&M, like there's a bunch of people involved, but yeah, I just try to do whatever every day, like make sure all the algorithms are fed. And
Yeah,
happy.
you gotta feed the beast.
Yeah.
How many per day is part of the job? Is there like a number that you aim for?
7 to 8.
7 to 8 posts a day?
Not just
I saw that in a caption.
That was from the other thing. I don't know, it varies, sometimes we'll just double up for a little bit to do, like more if we have a lot of stuff, or sometimes it's just like a post, maybe one product, one riding per day, or it really varies.
Yeah.
Story, like what, and I'll always talk in the back end with like Evan Fisher works too, like with a lot of the like kind of print ad style, but like online print ad style,
right.
Like maybe it's a video where some products move in and out, and he and I do those together a lot, and people in the warehouse send me product shots all the time, like we just kind of all, it's not like one person doing it. So I kind of just go into that. What is we need today? And then I pop out.
Are you guys doing like carousels and shit?
My girlfriend.
What I'm seeing is carousels are hot.
It's a carousel.
Carousel is where you can swipe multiple pictures. Like
Oh,
So you
yeah,
spend
yeah.
more
Those work
time
well
on
for
the
like
post.
the product things.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm not gonna try to play the game the way others are playing the game and
Yeah.
finding success.
Like
You know, we're gonna
built
do it the way we
different.
want to.
Like that.
Uh-oh,
That's
we
a
played
good
the game.
carousel. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We in the
Nah.
game, baby.
Also, it's important to, you got to play the game a little bit, right?
Gotta
Like you
play the
can't,
game.
you
Yeah.
don't want to just be so anti that you're like away from it. You got to like, what's the game? How do we play it in our way? You know,
Yeah.
that's basically it. Yeah.
Where do you think the most eyeballs are for BMX? Like kids, are they on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter,
Your guess is as
YouTube?
best as mine. I think YouTube. I think
Yeah,
YouTube
I think
still.
YouTube's huge.
And I think the most valuable BMX eyes are on YouTube because like if a video is longer and it holds your attention for longer, you start to think more and you're watching and you may be wondering what's that guy riding or like where's he from, this guy looks
Yeah.
cool, like what's that shirt, like what's this, like just the little shit like that, or like the way he does that trick is really cool, or like like, and then you're in there, you're in that world for a little bit,
Yeah. Dude, I'm
like
just like imagining starting from scratch. Like I've never like so yeah, I'm a kid and I know that YouTube exists and you just type in BMX.
Let's do it right now.
And then what happens,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna check it out.
Open up a new private window. You got to do
Yeah,
a private window.
What do you mean? Am I on the screen?
No, like a new incognito window so that
whatever.
it doesn't know that it's you on your YouTube.
Oh, smart. Smart.
So here we go. Just brand
But
new
the
YouTube.
algorithm's probably onto that, bro. That works for you.
No, all right. Billy Perry's the first one that comes up on
I
mine.
got Harry Main over here. So they must know that I'm a dedicated Harry Main fan, is what that is. And then if you go 1, 2, 3, 4 down on mine, it's Kanode Knows, Edwin De La Rosa.
For real?
Because I probably watched it, like, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you want to watch BMX again? You recently watched
Because you're logged into your shit. But yeah,
Probably.
I think Billy
They
Perry's
probably
winning
see your face
BMX,
on my
dude.
screen, dude. They probably see
Yeah.
this face in my pixels and go, oh,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
you
him
must
over
know
here on
this guy.
YouTube. Hey, look, here he is. I'm not gonna rule. I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate on how it works. I just know it's weird, and I just try to keep it real.
It's probably so much more advanced than we give it credit for. It's pretty wild thinking about.
Yeah, like
all
to
the
think that we can
technology.
humanistically like manipulate it is insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nuts.
it's a lot of luck. That's what I tell my boss. Like,
Yep.
because I do the same shit that I used to do for BMX, but or the same shit that you do for BMX, but for
Yeah.
a different like industry, real estate, coaching, education, and
Yeah.
we have like a system of like 2 or 3 posts a day, and it, like sometimes they flop, sometimes they
Yep.
don't. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah, and that's the game.
Can't control that. Like
And that's why going back to that thing about like, this is my art form. I know what it's going to do. You don't know, like not you, anyone. You don't know. Just send it out there. If you throw enough shit at the wall, some of it'll stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then you got shit on your wall. Awesome. I never understood that saying. Like, why do you want shit on your wall?
Throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see
All
what
right.
sticks.
Guys, who wrote this? What?
Yeah, who came up with that?
Yeah. Someone who was into scat porn. Maybe the scat man himself.
Origins of throwing shit at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll look.
You're like,
later.
some of it'll stick, and then you can make lemons and lemonade. And you're like, what about the shit one?
Oh.
I hit the bong. Are we taking a break?
Yeah, go for it. I'm looking up the origin of this phrase.
All right, off the record.
It means say anything and everything you can think of and see if anyone accepts even a little bit of it. It's like throwing spaghetti. Well, there's
Is it spaghetti?
in the mid 70s.
I've always heard shit, and that was mostly like a Canadian thing, but they tend to put shit in place of other words.
Yeah. That's interesting. Then in the mid 70s, a classmate asked me the following riddle: how can you tell if you've been on a good date? Throw your shorts against the wall, and if they stick, it was a good date. Anyway,
why is it if it's in the shorts, it's not a very good date?
Yeah, exactly. That didn't go as planned.
Now, if it's in her shorts or his shorts, the other date partner. Anyway,
but if shorts are getting thrown at the wall, it's probably a good date. Anyway,
but this is when you get home. I thought you're throwing your own shorts at your own wall.
Yeah, and then test to see if they stick. All right.
We need some new proverbs.
We've been derailed.
I love that.
So 44.
Yep. No, I'm just on a podcast right now. No, just joking.
Mom, no, screw you, dude. How's your Christmas?
This is just tobacco. Great Christmas, other than like a generational blizzard hitting Buffalo, New York, with 70-mile-an-hour winds for 2 straight days and snow falling, and
wow,
like a lot of people dying, and there was a driving ban for a week, and like everyone was running out of food and weed and alcohol, and yeah, it was.
Phew.
you know?
No, I
So
had
we
no
just
idea. That's crazy.
as a city, Buffalo, we just really went through it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's ironic
Damn.
because it lined up with like my vacation from work for the holiday
Yeah.
and just cabin fever inside. I'm upstairs in the attic. We're shoveling the attic. There's snow coming through holes that you can't even see, that water doesn't even get in, right? Like
Wow.
it's a 115, 117-year-old house, 1905.
Yeah.
So there's like, the wood has like seams in it. Ordinarily, it's not a problem and the water like wicks right off, but the snow coming in sideways at like 70 miles an hour, like it looked like a sandblaster inside, like a laser jet of snow shooting into the attic, making a foot high snowdrift. Like
Weird.
insanity, like the
Yeah.
scariest storm I've ever been through.
That is
But at
intense,
least it
dude.
wasn't boring, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Fighting nature. You were living in a movie.
Yeah.
Did you like my favorite part of Christmas was like giving gifts. I got my mom this like picture frame that I can email pictures
Nice.
to. So like my sister can email pictures
We
too.
got one of those from my grandma, dude, and I
Yeah.
email her the pictures. It's awesome. Isn't that,
Yeah,
aren't those things
it's so
cool?
wholesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah, it's nice. They get to see what you're up to.
I got my dad a tincture of oil, tincture of weed
Beautiful.
oil. My
And I
whole life
got
he was like, Robert, you out there smoking weed again, you loser, and now he smokes every night or takes
he's like, oh,
edibles every night.
I didn't know weed was this good now, Robert. My compressor is a marijuana cigarette now.
Dude, you just reminded me of just saying my name. You reminded me of the intro to People versus Things. Hello, thank you for calling Bobby Kanode.
Yo, remember? I don't know if you remember dinner at your house with your parents on that trip.
Yes, I do. I do
And
remember.
we all
you
went
coming
out
over.
and
Yeah.
we all went out and smoked cigarettes after.
Yep.
It was awesome. I loved it, dude.
The
You're like,
fan.
we got to go have a compressor.
Yes, dude, the compressor.
I have since quit those cigarettes, but that was an amazing dinner and awesome meeting your really friendly family, and all of us sharing a nice smoke after was so awesome.
Yeah.
And I still say compressor to this day.
Holy shit, blast from
Yeah,
the past.
we
Man.
use that term all the time.
I think it was 4 years ago now that I've gone without cigs, but I'm
Yeah.
more addicted to nicotine. Suck on a jewel.
You need to
all the
just
time.
replace one addiction with another. That's
Yeah.
the trick.
That's what I did. I replaced drinking with kratom, and then
It goes, yeah.
what?
Kratom instead of drinking? Is that okay? Sure. Dude, I didn't understand like withdrawal, right? Like that is crazy. There's a lot of mental like side of it. I thought it was always like physical, but the mental side is serious when you
Of
quit
alcohol?
drinking, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I didn't feel like myself till like probably like a year and a half, 2 years in, where I'm like, I remember who I am, like kind
Whoa,
of thing.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like this is who I am, this is what I'm about, And part of it was shedding people in my life that while I was drunk, I had allowed into a really personal position where they have input or whatever, like
Yeah.
so now it's just S&M, man. It's a family and we're rocking and they're on my wavelength and I love them. And it's like, like
Yeah,
that
that's
was sort of
fire.
like, as a result of the clarity, it's like, fuck, I'm in the right place, dude. What am I doing? Like, this is it. I'm going to
Happy
focus
for
on this,
you.
Like,
Yeah.
I love this shit.
And I just see you goofing off with your homies in the indoor ramps, and it just looks like you're still living the
Another
20-year-old
blessing.
life,
That is another, dude. That shit is so close to my house right now that it's like, I used to live a little farther from it. And my girlfriend and I found this place here and it's like 0.8 miles away.
Hell yeah.
My friend Dave Wanu, his family owns the building and then they rent out half to a brewery and half of it he skates. So I've been friends with him since probably 2004 or something like that. Like we've known each other because we all rode for the Sunday shop here before it was a bike company. There was the Sunday skate BMX shop that Jim C and this other guy JP ran. And I was on that team with a bunch of skaters. One of them, Jake Donnelly, is a professional skater for real now, like doing his thing. I'm super proud of him. We're up in the city. And then Dave Wanu was in that group and he and I have kind of always stayed close. I moved away for a while to Texas, came back and we kind of reconnected and we're both like adults now and kind of just I was like, I want to get a spot going. He's like, well, we're kind of starting to get one going. You guys want to split rent? And it was like, boom. Yeah. Perfect.
Sick. I love that.
Yes. There's so much skater biker love here. It's like awesome.
That's great.
I never understood the divide.
See,
places.
Buffalo is like upstate New York.
We're right on the Canada border. So they call it upstate, but when you're in New York City and people say upstate, it's like we went up the Taconic Parkway, up the Hudson River Valley to like the Adirondacks or the Catskills, which is like all on the eastern side. I'm on the west side, right against Canada. Like,
okay,
you look at where Lake Erie is, then the Niagara River, Niagara Falls, and then Lake Ontario. Yeah, I'm right at the mouth of the Niagara River at Lake Erie.
So how How far are you from Mr. Burnett? Do you guys
Uh,
link up? You got to be
yeah,
like a
Mark,
couple hours.
Mark, Mark
Right?
and I helped raise Mark a little bit. He's gonna
Yeah.
deny that because he's like cool Mark now, and
Yeah.
I get it because when I was that age, I understood, but I have a lot of love for Mark, and I think I'm probably like 4 hours from there. Probably we didn't bump into each other too often though, just because like that's what I mean. Like that's upstate in my mind, and
Yeah.
we're more like this is called Western New York. We call it
Okay.
here, and
Gotcha.
it's literally Canada. Like
Yeah.
Buffalo is like basically part of Canada. Like the next nearest city is like Rochester, New York, an hour and a half away. And then
Interesting.
if you go into Canada though, Toronto's like an hour away. So it's like we're closer to Toronto than we are to Rochester. Really, like yeah.
What's the most famous spot that I might recognize from Buffalo?
There's a few. Maybe like the Hubba ledge, the Jim C lip slid. It's like the concrete ledges that come down in like a nine stair. They're like low ledges. He did like a bunch of stuff down it. And then there's another one. Let me think, because there's been if you want to expand it more to like the Canada area that we ride to, maybe that
Yeah,
would be
sure.
like
Yeah.
because it's all Fouville. We call this whole area Fouville. And
Fouville.
we're the international boys, I mean, it doesn't matter what country we're in that day,
Yeah.
other than what do you have in your car and what do you have to take out of your car, and like do we have to get weed over there or over here, and you can't bring in poultry either. So one thing we always keep is a bag of hard-boiled eggs with us on ice, you know. I think
Yeah.
all riders probably do that.
Yep. That's for good protein.
One clip, Kareem and I realized one clip equals one egg. One egg equals one clip. If you eat an egg, you get a clip. So
Wow.
we started just bringing out eggs. And now I forgot. It's a famous spot. Okay. The Montebello rail.
I can smell hard boiled eggs right now.
Yo, they're more like a medium boil. It's not like powdery. I'm not talking powdery, white, nasty
They
yolk.
taste great, but they don't smell good.
I'm not talking. No, they don't even do the reason the smell is there is at the hotel lobby. Those eggs have been in that egg juice for like a really long time. They're in that egg
juice.
sauce.
Yeah.
Like even the yolk is like dry, and it's just like we make it like a nice custard yolk, and you gotta be careful when you feel it because it's a little bit soft. And then you keep another Ziploc of salt and pepper.
Oh yeah, because you have to salt and pepper. I put everything bagel seasoning on a napkin and then just dab my.
I'll put some of that in that egg bag too sometimes.
Yeah,
it's a separate bag. I can't stress it enough. Separate bag from the eggs and the seasoning. Otherwise, it gets fucked.
Yeah. We've learned life the hard way.
Famous spots. Those yellow rails, the flat ones that Jim C always rode. Carl Pointer, your boy, had a clip on them.
Yep.
I think he ice picked it.
I like that.
I don't know if you know it. So do you really not remember anything about BMX? Or are you pretending not to know anything about BMX because you think your audience might not know anything about BMX?
It's both. It's like I get flashes and the name was pure
just wondering because you're acting like you don't know the spots and I'm not sure if you really don't know them.
Yeah, no, the yellow rail sounds familiar. I don't know about the Hubba ledges.
Okay, sounds familiar.
I can find them. And then
I love it. Okay.
We're just doing it for the clips, man.
I like it. I was gonna say, I don't think anyone's watching this who like wouldn't know that, or not the yellow rail, but like I don't think anyone's watching this who doesn't know about BMX, so you could like if you were doing a podcast about like everything, that's the approach, right? But since this is BMX, you can nerd out a little bit, don't be afraid to nerd,
Yeah.
Not that you are, but I could tell you're doing a little like a
shtick.
No, like sympathizing with the audience more, like align yourself with the audience to sort of like get more out of this.
That's giving me too much credit because I legit just have bad brains.
Me too.
I really treated my life like I was gonna die when I was 27.
That's why I asked, because I just wasn't sure, because my mind is like really my memories, certain shit I can remember so well, and then other stuff is like that happened.
Yeah, for real.
Like
I get little glimpses, like you just telling me about the family dinner and then us having a compressor. I haven't thought about that in so long, and it just went, oh yeah, like
you should have a compressor.
Yeah,
just fucking have one. It can't be worse than the vape.
Like over the course of the 4 years that I've been sig free, like there's been times where I'll have one and I'm like, oh, I love it. I remember how I love this, and then it's not even a thing.
Yeah, I don't even want them any. Like when I see it, I don't want it. It's weird because like it's weird to be outside of the addiction.
You're fully nicotine free, huh?
No, hell no.
Yeah. Okay.
There's nicotine in the mix.
Still hooked on the nicotine?
Oh yeah, but just no cigarettes, no boxes of cigarettes.
Okay, cool.
We've been like I said, you got to just switch it with another addiction,
Yeah.
Like And then
Exactly.
this will get swapped out for joints, and then joints will get swapped out for celery sticks,
Yeah. Something's got to go on.
One thing at a time. Put the celery stick in the rolling paper first thing you eat, and then slowly a little less paper, a little less, and then it's just celery. A little less.
Then you just eating weed.
Yeah. And then yeah, I do that too. Yeah, you can do that.
The quitting cigs and losing weight thing like really helped me. I got my girlfriend
Losing
here
weight,
from
right?
San Diego. Fucking it felt so good. Like if you work on yourself
Yeah.
and like I don't know, that's some weird preachy shit. But if you like
No, dude.
instead of like who do I want to date, you have to like look at yourself and be like, am I somebody that who would I want? Who would
You gotta work
somebody
on
would want
yourself
to date?
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You gotta be a whole person on your own.
And if I
like you're
didn't quit
saying,
cigs, I wouldn't have a beautiful girl in the other room right now,
Awesome.
you know, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
You gotta like, yeah, follow the little breadcrumb trail. That shows you like on the right track, right?
Yeah.
Like you kind
And
of
I think like
universe rewards like good behavior in a weird way. Or like whole not like good in the traditional religious sense of behavior, but good in like, yeah, follow your heart and that type of
self-improvement.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
self improve yourself and work on yourself, and everything else will hopefully work itself out. And
And
if
like
not, you'll be in a better position to handle whatever happens anyway.
yeah, at least trying, you know, because I think everybody knows in the back of their mind, even, like it's like cognitive dissonance. So like I know I shouldn't be doing this while I'm drinking a 40, you know, but fuck it, I'm living for the moment or whatever. But like in
Yeah.
the back of your mind, you're like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And so
Yeah.
start listening to that little person that's
Yep.
got your back in your head, and then
And anytime I talk to people about this too, it's like I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but
yeah,
if you feel like you're struggling and you feel like life is hard, these are things you can explore,
yeah,
then it's not like you're like preaching. It's just like this worked for me. It could work for you, it could also not work for you, and I don't care.
yeah,
Like I do care. I want, all my friends to be happy and healthy and shit, but like what's right for me isn't right for them. And all I
yeah,
can do
for
is
real.
offer the advice. And if they don't, I can't be like, you're a piece of shit for not taking that advice, basically. Like just keep it positive,
Yeah. What else are
Yeah.
you doing? So I in the come up interview, you were 28, so you must be 35 now or 36.
Good math. Good math. 35.
What are you like? And you were talking about you were eating healthy back then. Are you still eating
I
healthy?
was
Are
so
you
full
working
of
out?
shit, probably. I think, all right. So what I was doing then was I was eating like healthy and then also not healthy, like
Yeah.
I think I thought eating healthy was buying a juicer and juicing, right?
Yeah.
It's that flex tape ad where the leak is coming out of the tub and you slap the tape on and it's juicer.
Yeah.
I was drinking so much back then that like no amount of healthy eating I think would have even like penetrated the wall of like booze or whatever. But
Yeah.
I am on some very like minimalist diet, sort of like I just cook. My girlfriend and I cook all the time, and it's awesome, and we
That
just
is
like
awesome.
yeah, we explore different recipes together, and it's so sick. Like I just love man, she's the best. Yeah, speaking of great girlfriends,
Is
I
it
have a really
Mango? What's her name?
supportive Margot.
Margo.
Yeah. But yeah, she and I met a couple years ago and we just really got along, and she's just like been so helpful, and like she sees my thing from the outside, and she gave me some really good advice. She always gives me good advice on it, because she has a good perspective. Instead
Like what?
of like, you gotta be a supportive partner, with a supportive partner,
Right. Yeah. Who's like encouraging you to do what you're doing. So
Yeah.
what was the advice?
Dude, all the time, like little like song advice in the video and shit, like she picked my song, or she helped pick my song. I was going between a few. So yeah, like had to. And then I told all my friends and stuff were all like going back and forth, going back. I had some other song in there, some normal ass, stupid ass BMX type of song. Like, get this shit out of here. This is not, like,
Yeah.
and then she's like, you have to use this. My other, they're all like, I listen to her the most. And she's like, like, I don't know. She just, she gives input. She'll be like, no, or yeah. Like, and sometimes like I'll argue and then I'll realize she's right, but
Yeah.
I usually just kind of be like, okay, I think you see something I don't, because we're very similar, but we're so different in a lot of ways that it just works. It's like a really good,
That's beautiful.
got good chemistry.
3 years, you said you've been together?
Coming up on, I think, a little over 3 years. Yeah.
Nice.
See the coinciding of the drinking with the relationship.
Is she sober too?
She drinks very, very occasionally.
Nice.
So that was part of
that's
like
perfect.
what she's the wasn't drinking, so I'm like, I didn't feel the need to drink as much.
Yeah.
And then
That's huge, dude. Because it's like if you have a
mentally,
girlfriend who wants to, it's
Oh,
hard
yeah.
you got to be on the same page.
Let's go and do the thing, let's go out. But we
Yeah.
go out and we'll just drink a root beer, or like sometimes she'll have like a cocktail here and there, but she gets like drunk in one sip.
Nice.
So then it's like,
cheap date.
Well, I'm not drinking. I'll drive home, whatever, Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. It's just perfect. Yeah, I think I like met the right person who like pulled me out of the, where
Yeah.
I was.
Good
Pretty
for
low
you.
point. Yeah.
Elevation, baby. We on another
Yeah.
echelon, my dude.
Yeah, trying. We're halfway up the mountain, or we're at the top of the mountain, but we're only halfway up the mountain, kind of thing.
Whoa,
Yeah, we're at the top, but we're
dude.
only halfway up, dude.
We're just the journey is the process, man. The
Sure.
process is the journey is the destination, dude.
Yeah,
Let's go back to
exactly.
your day in the life. I interrupted you. You finish your work and then it's
Yep.
like noon and then what?
I'm usually done. It'll be more like 3, 4, usually done, maybe like some days. And then usually my girlfriend will come home and we'll cook something. Or if I maybe like, if it's nice out, I have like riding plans, I'll kind of go do something, then come back later and, grab food while I'm out or whatever, bring it back for dinner. Or she cooks, like whatever. And just chilling with her, my dog, watching good movies and listening to the records and just
That's
being a
sick.
homebody and just drinking water and,
Are you
like
renting a
smoking
house?
weed. And
Is that
my
what you're
landlord
doing?
lives below. So it's like the upper lower kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he's the man. He's awesome. Yeah.
That's
He's
cool.
yeah, really, really cool dude. We're in the right place. Like they're like us, like
Weird.
hot, friendly, and weird, and yeah, like weird, just not the norm.
Yeah, I
Well, a
love it.
lot of people like here in Buffalo are like that, though. I think when you go through these winters, you have to develop some kind of fucked up sense of humor to stay here.
I
You
believe
know?
it. Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Why are you still there? Why haven't you guys moved? Isn't
I
Do you have a
love it.
desire to move?
No, I want to stay. Maybe if I was to move, it would be like maybe to Clint's area,
Okay.
um,
Where does Clint live?
Hudson River Valley, like the Catskill Mountains.
Okay.
And that would be down the road, when I'm ready to build a compound. But
Yeah, dude, that's the
I,
goal for me too. The
street
compound.
riding, yeah, that street riding here is too good. And like, so Buffalo just, I love having the winter to check me and kind of like really make me value that summer. When I lived in Austin, I was there for I think 7 or 8 years, and by the end of it, riding just became so like monotonous. I think I'm used to like different lighting and different trees and different, like the trees changed a little bit, but not really. And like,
Yeah.
and I just really love the way the buildings look here. And when I get a clip here, it just has it. I don't
East
know.
Coast, East Coast look. It's a totally
And
different
is that a
look.
personal thing for me that I like it because I like buildings here in Buffalo that are 150 years old and look so cool and they're made out of stone. Like
Yeah.
I also can appreciate like a California wasteland style stucco ghetto like alley with the El Camino back there though too.
Yeah.
Like that is also sick. Like
Yeah.
so it's not so much that for me, it's like being close to friends and family is number one. Like BMX Foo is here. All my friends that I grew up and really like built what I have are here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it makes sense for me to be here building with them.
Yeah.
And we got the warehouse. Like I love the off season now. Like professional NBA athletes, they don't have a full 365 season, like
Yeah.
it's the ebb and flow of like, wintertime, you train. We're in the training facility and we are
Yeah.
training.
I love
I'm
it.
doing 180 pegs full cabs right now. And if I mess up one, I got to start back at one, get to 100. If I
I
mess up at
can't tell if you're
99,
serious, dude.
I can't either. So
I love that.
it's kind of like, I'm not going to lie, like the environment in there is kind of like that. It's not to that extent, but
Yeah.
it is very like, let's focus. Every time we come in, I got these 3 things I want to try that I was thinking about, or I got this other thing that there's a setup. There's like clips in my fire mids part. We can pull this up and make one of those Instagram things.
Yeah, let's
There's
do
an
that.
there's an ice pick on a windowsill to
Okay.
pull and double peg down a rail down a storm door. And that setup was something that I built over and over in the warehouse, like a sub box with a ledge coming down, and you ice pick, pull down, double peg 180, ice pick, pull down, feeble 3, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like you can make, like if you have a spot you're thinking about, you can make that thing, practice that trick. And then when you go to get the clip, you're like, I've done this a million times. This is actually better than the shitty setup in the
That's
warehouse that we
true.
built, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just love and then I come out like, because by the end of like, we go so hard when the weather's good here. And it's almost like it's for a couple of years, I lost the fire. And then I have the fire now. And having the
Nice.
fire is sometimes hard when you're trying to get, like, I was throwing my bike again. Like I was like 28
Yeah.
years old or whatever, like
Yeah.
I don't want to throw my bike really, but I'm glad but like you
The
get to these
passion.
levels of like, I have a part that's like 90% done. I need this fucking clip. Like And it sometimes like all your friends are working now, you're all adults. It could take you 2 weeks to get out to this spot and be there with the filmers to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And then something's not working right, you know? And you've been
Yeah.
thinking about this shit for so long, and there's a crack that keeps grabbing your fucking tire. Can you believe that? You know, and like that's when the fire comes out, because you have so much care and like you think about it so much, and you're just like, because it's like summertime, we're getting it, it's fall, you know, like I had a rage meltdown like in November, because it was like, I know we're getting to the end of it. I need this fucking clip. I didn't get the clip I was trying, but I did something else on the ledge that I think was like kind of in retrospect much better anyway. Like,
Okay.
you know, in your tunnel vision in hell, and you're like, I
Yes.
want to do this, and someone's like, but you just did that, and I like that. Like, shut up, you know. Like, but
so what
and
I wanted,
dude, it's like, it's in the built different part. It's like the ledge I've had, and there's another thing that we do here, and kind of why I like being here is like going back to spots that you rode in your old video part and one up in yourself is one of the best feelings.
Yeah,
in BMX.
true.
I don't know, for me personally,
Yeah.
it's like personal growth. Like,
Yep.
and sometimes the trick, it might not be like harder, but it might be smarter and better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you try to finesse like that. And I think if you just get really good at thinking about riding, that you could like make the riding easier for yourself, because you put in all this work beforehand. And then, so I forgot the original point.
Just the passion coming back and
Fire coming back. Okay. And then, so then by the end of like the riding season, I'm like kind of exhausted with like getting the street clips that are like battles and security and question marks and cars being parked places. I'm excited to ride the warehouse for a little bit, and then maybe like, you know, midwinter, take a trip somewhere warm and film some clips. Like,
yeah.
that to me is better than being in the warm place all the time when it's like way too hot in the summer, and that's like hot winter, you know, like it's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, because then you don't lose the appreciation for the nice weather because it's nice out, but like, I don't know, it's just like it made me so numb, and it could be because I come from a season place, but I think I got so burnt out like by the end
No,
of
it's
hot
just
dogs.
like it's so great that you have like winter as an excuse, but it's as
Love
like
it.
okay, now chill, you know,
And your body can heal up a little bit. You ride like
Yeah,
twice a week, maybe, instead
exactly.
of like whatever, you know, when you're trying to film clips, you might be going out every day for a little bit, or
We
going on
are.
a trip for 10 days is tough, you know, like,
Oh yeah, shit.
yeah.
What was your last trip that you went on? Have you been on one since COVID?
Yeah, we did Battle of the Brands.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
part of this fire coming back too, like when I was super, I had like talk about drinking and stuff. Like, I think I had anxiety issues for a really long time that I didn't know about because the booze covered it, you know? And then when I quit drinking, the anxiety came to the forefront. And then, like, you know, through a lot of stuff like therapy and shit like that, it's at a manageable level, but there's a healthy level to that too, you know? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like, it's a balance. Yeah, like that's the fire almost in a way. Like, what was the
The
question?
anxiety. The anxiety is the
A healthy
fire.
level of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Healthy
So
level. Cause
we
like,
were talking about trip or like
yeah,
a trip.
trip. Oh, going back to trip. I used to be a little anxious about traveling, but when this fire has entered my life again, now that I've decided to like follow my heart a little harder,
Yeah.
I think it's like, I'm just excited to travel again. You know, like I want to, this year coming up, I would like to do like more, but last year we did a few. The last one was Seattle. We did the Battle of the Brands trip,
Sick.
and that was sick.
Yeah.
And then I ended up we double dipped a couple into both different. Who cares, right?
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah, we shot some stuff on the back end, and there's no replacement for, you know, a good riding trip with the boys. You know, like, I'm
True.
not saying it like we're gonna, you know, do this high technology robot approach only. Like,
Yeah.
that is always a thing. And we're planning some really cool shit upcoming. I would like to dip my toe into the premium content, premium DLC pool a little bit more. And I want to see if like our audiences that watch these productions with S&M, if they would be, I mean, we did the digital download, and it literally broke the website. Like, I didn't think we were going to sell 80 of those. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who downloads a digital I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
I'm so in it. I don't, you know, I'll just hit up the filmer and be like, send me a link, you know, like,
Do you have numbers? Like how many?
yeah, over 1,000. That was weeks ago that it was over 1,000. That was like
Yeah.
after the first week, over 1,000 downloads. So I'm
That's
like,
great.
maybe people want high level content, and like, these are hard, expensive, they don't make sense, but maybe we could do something like a premium membership based, you know, like,
Right. Yeah.
something. We're just exploring the idea, and or maybe even just doing more digital downloads of like the pieces we make. Who knows?
Yeah.
I just want to find a way around that, the bullshit that we encountered by doing that. Like, I don't think a lot of people sell digital files that would sell 1,000 in a couple days. Like, what industry like, you know, like, that doesn't
Yeah.
really So for our thing, it might be better as like a YouTube premium or like, I don't know, just
Yeah.
exploring like maybe not for S&M, but like for any rider out there personally, like this could be something you could explore too, you know? Like,
Yeah. I
I don't know.
saw
Is that something people would be
Jury started
into?
a
I don't know.
Patreon. It's something that I've wanted
He was
to
early though. He was a little early.
I
And
wanted
it's
to
cool that he was
bring
on it,
up.
but
Yeah, and it's it's a whole nother thing. I kind of want to create one for this show. Just like I don't think I have much content. Like we could cut right now and then say, okay, let's switch over to the Patreon and then
yeah.
talk about whatever we want or whatever. But just
That's what I
to
mean. Like the
like help
process wouldn't
support and grow.
change.
Yeah,
Process wouldn't change. You just have to like sort of reorganize the way your output is. And then I I don't know. Based on the reception of the video, like it seems like people kind of do want to support the shit. And like the reality of the situation is like it's this shit is, you know, like it does take a lot to make a
oh
good,
yeah,
you know, like more than anyone really has any idea. So if people were willing to like support more digital download stuff, the things that we could make would be higher budget and, you know, like a
yeah,
little bit
for real.
better production value story or where we go could be more you know, like,
And it grows, and then you do
yeah,
one, and it does well, and then that covers the expenses
yeah,
of the next trip, and then it
yep,
grows, and then it's you spend it all like Mr.
yeah,
Beast
like,
style,
is
like
that, yeah, is that something that like BMX is ready for? Like, I'm not sure, you know, like that's just kind of like, that's where the internet is going. Cause like, it doesn't really, if you want to be a content creator like that, like obviously you have to monetize it.
yeah.
And then BMX companies are odd because it's like, no, we're selling products and we don't monetize this, you know, but increasingly it's like, yeah, BMX companies are media companies too.
Yeah, it's weird, dude, because it's gone full circle. Like
Not even BMX,
DVDs,
any
yeah, any
company.
industry. So like
Yeah.
DVDs used to be a valuable thing that people would distribute and sell and make a good margin on, and then at around 2010, that died too.
Dude, but we like made it, we sold them like DVDs are slanging though. Like it's crazy. Like it
It's
has to be
weird,
like a
but like
good
how
one.
many?
I don't
Yeah,
know. Like, and it might be the S&M niche that we have. They support
yeah,
DVDs. That's something I wanted to touch on is like, um, if a ride like growing up and riding or whatever, or if you're a video maker, or if you want to start a brand or anything, like shooting for that mainstream or whatever is like so tempting for people. But I think it's so much more valuable to build like a small niche,
yes,
hardcore like community, you know, like if it's mainstream, it's not a community. Like, yeah, Mr. Beast has a huge community, but like they're 3 years old. And as soon as they're 4 years old or whatever, they're gonna realize Mr. Beast doesn't give a shit about me, you know, like so like I think if you focus more on like a niche instead of like and part of that niche hardcore thing is like passion projects from the heart, no like extra marketing or no like
right,
we think people want to see this, so we're gonna make this. Like, no,
yeah,
like make exactly the vision to the T, kind of like we were talking about with movies earlier, like do it and really just let that shit burn, you know, like
yeah.
don't go half-ass, don't be afraid to step on toes or offend, like do whatever the fuck you want to do to express yourself creatively, like let it
When
rip,
you
don't be
say
afraid to
that,
get made fun of.
the videos that come to mind are Voices, Tomorrow We Work, and BMX Foo, and
That's sick. Dang, well, I'm honored to be in that.
that's great. It's just doing exactly what you want, and not giving a shit, which is
And it
really
was
cool.
those
What
dudes were
comes to your
so
mind when you
different,
think about
right?
it? Yeah,
Voices crew, big
yeah,
time. Um, AMPM crew.
yes.
Uh,
OG.
oh, before that, Don't Quit Your Day Job crew.
Yeah.
Before that, the Stairs and Grizzle got like the Jersey dudes and all like tremendous influence on all of us here. Ralph, um, Bob, Edwin, obviously.
Yeah.
So like now I'm just thinking about that line Edwin did where he does a feeble to up manual and then he does a 180 bar and a feeble over Smith. But what was the question again?
Feeble to up Mayo to 180
On
bar,
the
and then
guardrails, can I eat first?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
feeble, yeah,
Up
feeble hop up
manual,
manual bar, so
drop off like a
good.
boss. He
Yeah,
doesn't
dude.
jump off. He just,
Yeah, dude. Oh
all
man.
right. So what was the question? It was about,
The
other crews that I respected, right? Growing up or whatever.
videos
Brought
that
their
come to
own,
mind when
brought their
you
own
are
sauce,
talking about
right?
like yeah,
Happy Medium that you showed me.
yeah,
They bring the sauce.
they got
Um,
the sauce.
one time, Bobby and I were foraging for mushrooms, and he showed me Happy Medium videos for the first time. And a guy does a nose blunt slide, and there's a mushroom painted on the spot, and I was like, "Oh yeah, man! Like these guys made this for us, man." You know, like kind of. that's how you feel when you watch something that's made with that passion and it like
Yeah.
resonates with the people, like the people that made it. That's who the shit, that's who you make it for, is the
Yeah.
people kind of that like are like you almost, you know, or like make it
Yeah.
for yourself. People who are like you like it. And
Yeah.
that's the way it should be. You know, like,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. Because otherwise, there's tons of content that's not getting made that needs to get made for people that are making something else that they really have this other idea, but they don't think it'll work, or they don't think, oh, that's not what works in this internet, or oh, that's not what people want to see, or
Yeah.
oh, that trick people make fun of me. You can't spin that way after spinning that way. You
Yeah.
can't go on the grass, or like, you know, like all that
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Woo, throw it out.
Those are
2023,
called limiting
are out.
beliefs. Get
Yeah,
rid of your limiting
beliefs,
beliefs.
logical fallacies, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to be free out there in the riding, whatever you're doing, and I think I would love to see just like riders truly expressing who they are in a very divergent manner in the future.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It could just get more homogenized as the internet expands. Like that's kind of the direction it's trended.
It's
But
weird to
the
think
cool
about.
shit kind of sticks out more the more homogenous shit gets. So it's like,
Yeah, exactly. And
cool.
but it's like if something's good, like the AM/PM full length that just came out, that was like low key on YouTube. Like
yeah,
all the heads are sharing it, and they're like, you got to see it. So like, if something's worthy of being seen, it's gonna be seen. Same
yeah,
with
and
like
I think
Motobunka and all those crews. It's
that might be
fucking
one of the
interesting.
that might be one of the issues that people have too when they like work for a company, is they're making stuff that's not like that, and they're almost like, my peers are not going to approve of this. You know what I mean? Like there's this hardcore world, and I make the hardcore shit, but I also make product promos, and that's okay.
Yes,
and I make
that is
hardcore
okay.
shit, and then I come over here and talk on the microphone about, you know, going to visit Clinton, and that's okay. Like
exactly.
I want everyone to be able to relate to it and maybe pick up a video, and if you don't know BMX, you can rock with it. But then the other stuff for the people who do know BMX, where they're like, fuck yes, you know, like this melted my icy heart. You know what I mean? Like I had tons of old heads like hit me up about the new video and shit, and it was like amazing. Young, old, like just a lot of love, and that
I could see that.
It's the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
especially with the riding.
With.
The riding was so well rounded, and it was so dope to see Chris Doyle's footage in there. I was like,
yeah,
you know,
I know that when that hit on the screen at like on the song and everything, and I was editing, and like I literally was very emotional.
Yeah,
getting emotional now even talking about it.
Yeah,
just growing up watching Chris Doyle on the TV, and now he's on my monitor.
Yeah, it's unreal.
And Stu Johnson from Props filmed these fucking clips, sent them to me.
Yeah,
I'm editing the S&M video. What the fuck is going on? This is insane.
What is life?
I try to stay in that excited state. Yeah, like it's good to be like, remind yourself all the time, like, if I could go back in time and tell me watching 44 something in my friend's basement in fucking Cheektowaga, New York, that this is going to be happening, like, we would not believe me from the future. You know?
Shut the fuck up. No,
get out of here.
No, that's not going to happen.
I can't grow a beard. Yeah.
You can, dude. It's quite voluptuous. You've got a voluptuous beard, Charlie.
Yeah, young Charlie, you'll be fine.
It's funny that this podcast brought that giddiness, that fire out of me again. I felt like I was 18 again when Dig reached out to partner. I was like, what?
You got to be excited about what you're doing.
No way. Oh my God. And I do love talking. It's pretty
You
cool.
got to be excited. And yeah, just doing like that's the follow your heart thing, where like you said, your heart personally isn't to make it full length, so don't do it for a little bit. And then eventually maybe your heart will,
I'm committed
things
to
in your life, you know, might change.
I will, yeah.
You know, like, and then it's kind of like a perpetual cycle of like, for me, like, video's done. Whew, that was good. We did a good job. And then a month goes by, and I'm like, that video kind of was a while ago. The video kind of was a while ago.
You start itching.
I haven't done anything in a while. I'm kind of a lazy piece of shit, man. I got to go get a clip. And it's like that self-loathing, you know, a healthy amount that
keeps you driven.
You gotta feel like you're not doing good to do good, you know?
Yes.
And if you feel like you're doing too good, you're probably not
delusional
as good as you could. I don't know, you know, like, just try to get better. Don't think about how good you're doing. I don't know, you know?
Yeah,
like,
you're describing an artist. That's what the artist mindset is like, you almost hate what you put out because you know you can do better, and then you have to go and try and do better, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it though, you know? But then over time,
my shit
it's
is
like
dope, yo.
My shit is dope, but yeah, like outdated, you know, like my shit's always getting so much doper that, like, you know, it kind of
I stay getting doper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been 20 years in the game, you know. I'm not
For
trying to
real.
flex it too hard, but we've been dropping a full length at least every year since 2006 or something. So,
It is truly impressive how much
you know,
BMX you have done, and how much biking you've done, how much filming and putting out videos you've done, and the
we just
movement,
try to,
the
it's just
flu
what we like to
movement.
do, bro. It's just like my friends and I just love this shit so
Yeah.
fucking much, man. And like, I just love
Oh.
this shit. And like S&M is a company that the dude Moeller started it out of the love of BMX and the necessity of the bike. And like, so it makes sense that his frequency would be on our, you know,
Yes,
we'd
100%.
harmonize, you know, they might not be exactly the same frequency, but there's a harmony there.
Could
Yeah.
you could you make a living off of BMX foo? Like I heard in the come up interview you were talking about running the web store and
If
shit
I
like that.
like, we
And
never
foo's
really wanted them,
worldwide,
we
but
never
like,
wanted them to do that
is the
really,
potential there? Like,
for
'cause I don't
sure.
know.
But I never
And where
really
would it
like,
be? T-shirts, merch.
right? Like that just pollutes the planet. You know, like I'd rather produce media, you know, like
Yeah.
we're a media company, BMX Crew. Like that's how I kind of look at it. Like we're
Nice.
like a not a company, but we're like a media producing group of friends who love, I guess you could say, the art form of BMX videos, you
I would
know?
buy a digital download of the next foo video, $10.
Here we're gonna it's rest in peace is dedicated to Andrew White. The video is called Andy and it's coming
Damn,
out I don't know, soon. I
that's
haven't
heavy.
really, it's heavy working on it and shit, but
Yeah.
it's something that we're making to honor him and remember our friend. And yeah, man, that shit, I've lost a lot of people, but someone from like your inner circle you shared so much like intimate shit with, like it's crazy, you know. But gives me a perspective, and really that was a big part of lighting the fire,
For
you know.
those of
Like I'm
us
still
who
here.
don't know, tell like
Yeah,
not
so
not
my
to
friend Andrew
rehash it, but
White
Andrew, like tell me
passed
about it.
away earlier this year. um Suddenly, uh diabetes related, like he didn't know he had diabetes. So anyone out there listening and you don't feel good, like get tested. Like I'm getting a blood panel January 2nd, I think it is. I finally have health insurance, getting primary care and everything, taking care of business, just because like you never know. Andrew was someone that growing up with us, like his sense of humor like shaped BMX food a lot. Like I was saying, we're all in the room making jokes, watching videos and shit. And like Andrew was such a unique, we all kind of have our own, you know, but like just the way like Andy would do voices so funny, and like faces, just like little shit that is in the videos, like it is BMX food. So like losing a piece of that was like crazy. And I was at a point in my life where I had, like I was saying before, like the fire had dimmed, but I don't know if like it's just he's gone and I want to do this for him, or if it's like the perspective it brought on life and how suddenly it can be taken from someone so
Fragile.
young, you know,
Yeah.
like
How old was he?
I think he was 36.
Yeah.
I think he's a year old. He might be 2 years older than me. I'm 37. And you know, like we're just trying to ride for his son. His son rides now, and like
Fuck.
hooking him up with fits and shit. And we're just like, I would like a digital download to give him some money, like get some money to support his son would be actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to channel like the pain, you know, like
Yeah.
that it
How
really
old is
brought
his
into
son?
all of our lives. Yeah. I think he's three or four.
God damn, dude.
Ollie, yeah. It's just so hard, dude. For you know, luckily he's like young enough where like he doesn't really like have a super good handle on like
Right.
everything,
Yeah.
but that also kind of sucks, you know, like.
Yeah. He'll
So we've just been
appreciate you
trying to
guys
help.
later on in life,
We've
you
been
know?
trying to help out as much with his baby mama and him, and just finding ways to like healthily channel like this grief energy. You can kind of convert it. Like I just went out and tried to get clips, you know, like
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Like,
It's the only thing you
and
can do.
you're in that state, you're not thinking about it. So this video, the S&M video, like my part's dedicated to Andrew and shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, part of how hard I went was like, yeah, for him, man.
Look,
Fucking,
yeah. Is there any
it's the
like
first person that shed tears on your podcast, man.
I started
Glad I got
tearing
the
up too,
shades
man.
on. I'm not.
Um, is there is
Yeah,
there
man, it
a
hurts. It
GoFundMe or
hurts.
anything that people can donate to the baby
No, not
mom,
at
baby
this
mama?
time, but I think maybe when we get the video out, we can kind of just, if people want to buy the video and support, they could do something like that. We were
Yeah.
talking about doing a shirt and stuff, but it's just so hard to like once that it's just you just gotta show love and be there more than the money thing. Like
Yeah, for sure.
money's great and stuff, but there's just so much other stuff that needs to kind of get done first, like family
Right.
and friends coming together and like let's rebuild. And like it was pretty earth shattering, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, dude. That's heavy. I didn't
Heavy,
know
but
that was this
it,
year.
it gives you like something to do it for. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like it's part of life, and
Pain is fuel.
you could take it as fuel, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. You could
Yeah.
probably use it for like negative or positive fuel, but
Yep.
it's just like he's not here to get a clip. What excuse do I have to not go and get this clip?
Yeah.
Like on a basic personal level, like try to keep that fire lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, rest in peace.
All right, let's move on to our Instagram questions. You got
Oh boy. I heard my girlfriend asked like 4 of them.
Yeah, we got a good amount.
Good Lord.
Chris Moeller says
4 more hours.
How can such a nice guy be fighting with people all the time?
I don't know if I'm fighting with people all the time. People like, if we want to talk about that Ricky thing and the beef and everything, it was so one-sided from him to me. Like, I really just tried to do what was best for that company, and then he's kind of just behind my back, like throwing knives and shit. And I don't know. I'm much more peaceful now. Moeller says that too, because as soon as he put me on the team, I got in a physical altercation at Texas Toast.
Shakespeare's. You punched the owner of Shakespeare's?
Alleged Shakespeare's brawl. And
well, he disrespected your girl.
I've grown up so much since then that I would have handled that
blacklisted.
So different.
Who sent
dog.
you the
like,
picture? Taj
sent a picture of me being not allowed into Texas Toast, but meanwhile I went in and rode finals and like did pretty good. And Moeller saw me ride finals, and then that's
like, how you got on.
Actually, that was the year before. My bad. That was the year before Moeller was judging. That's how I got on. Part of the reason I got on S&M. And then the next year I rode again and whatever. Yeah.
Nice.
I was just in a dark, alcoholic kind of place, and like someone says some crazy shit about your girlfriend, you're gonna act impulsively when you're pumped full of testosterone at age 26 or whatever, like and Chris, thank you for riding with me through that one, man. And I'm happy that you've given me the patience to grow up a little bit in the position that I am on your team. Thank you.
Sometimes we spaz. Sometimes you gotta spaz
he
out.
was a young guy too. He knows how it is. But yeah, that was just that was just
his
what
nickname's
it was.
Mad Dog, right?
Mad Dog.
Yeah, dude.
And I kind of grew up hockey and fighting and shit. And like I almost don't see fighting as like it's not like the meanest thing you could do. Like it's sort of part of the game. Like
it's part of
hockey.
Culture,
yeah, like
you punch somebody in the face and then they go, "What the fuck, Charlie?" And you're like, "It's part of my culture, dude."
Bro, it's my culture. Respect my culture.
Please respect my culture. All right, we got 2 from Brant Moore. Rating out of 5 stars for the steak sandwich at the Pink.
That's the question I gave him for Jim. 5 stars.
Okay.
The Pink is a dirty, dirty bar. That everyone like here, it's like you just go after you're done with all the other bars, you go to the Pink. Okay. And it's dark and it's smelly and the floor has never been clean. It's sticky in there, but they have the best steak sandwich in town.
Nice.
They're just cooking like little sirloin steaks on a grill and then putting it between bread. But it's like when you're at that point in the night and that shit comes your way in a darkly pink lit room with these pink light bulbs, it's just like, they're actually red, but whatever, red light in there. Right? It's just like this dingy, horrible, awful, great place.
Every city has one. You need one.
We had the Fire Mids premiere there, and it was
sick. Rocking. Hell yeah!
We put the video on, and then my friend hucked a beer at the screen, and luckily the bartender looked away when the beer hit the screen, and then we were good. I thought we were gonna get kicked out after prepping audio all week and shit, and going in there in the daytime when all the regulars in the bar during the day being alcoholic, and you're testing the audio and it comes through at volume 11. They fucking all start yelling at you.
What the fuck was that, man?
Doing premieres is crazy. All right, next question. Let's rock it. Let's go. How many more you got?
Actually, I have a question that, and we do have a lot. We can do however minutes we can skip.
I'm down.
But like, what's your preference on? This is from me. Preference on where to do a premiere. I've done them, or I've been to premieres in like backyards. I've been to premieres in bars, and I've been to a premiere in a movie theater / bar.
Us two, all three. It wasn't a movie theater, but it was like a Broadway theater the one time.
Yeah.
That was the coolest one.
That's the best.
We had live music coming in and out. And then the quality of the video in there is really high. It's better to see it on a bigger projection than in a bar where everyone's dude. All right. So it was this place called the Q Club on Queen Street in Niagara Falls. And it was like they did Broadway plays all the time, and we just knew it as like a theater front. We're like, let's try to ask. This is how we've done everyone is we just knock on the door and say, can we do this here? Like
Yeah.
literally just like the first premiere we ever had was just at a bar up the street from my buddy's house. We were all smoking pot at, and we're watching That Counts, DVD I made, the first BMX food DVD.
Yes.
And we're like, we got to premiere this. Where should we go? And it's me, Jeff Evans, and Cliff Martin, who was the owner of the Foo House at that time. Or no, he wasn't even the owner of the Foo House. We were in the apartment still in Niagara Falls. My bad. He ended up buying a house that became the Foo House after that. But me, Cliff, and Jeff Evans were just sitting there, like, let's just go drive around, fucking hit up a few bars, ask if they can, like freshly baked, just started smoking weed baked, like
Yeah.
walk up the street or ride our bikes up, and we're like, hey, we have this video. Like, do you have a DVD player? Can you check this out? Like, can we do this here? And like, yeah, fuck yeah. And we're like, oh, nice. It was just like, okay. And then that's how we've done it ever since then. And like you said, we've done bars. Bars are okay. But then that Q Club place we did, it was like, you walk in and there's a bar and like a big area for everyone to hang out and congregate. And then there's like a theater room with a stage.
And that's the shit, dude. Yeah.
We had a photo booth with a giant Fu Man on the wall. So people would come in, and it was like organized, good flow of people. There was like 500 people there. It was insane.
Fuck yeah. I love that.
We had like kind of like hotel recommendations set up nearby. Everything was all organized, and like bands playing. And we had my friend did a comedy set before, and like,
no shit. Sick.
We just had like shit rolling on the stage. We got the stage for 6 hours. A bunch of my friends were in bands, whatever. And yeah, that was the sickest. It was just so crazy. I just wish I wasn't so drunk at every premiere where I like don't remember the premiere. Like,
same.
Yeah. So like this next one, I'll be sober, hopefully,
Yeah,
like, and I'll be able to
actually remember it.
Yeah. Not sober. I'll be on weed,
Basically,
but,
I know that the 2 premieres that I've done have been the best nights of my life that I can't remember. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Where does Brant Moore live compared to you? Where does he live in general? He's in
Ohio.
Ohio.
It's
okay,
like
so kind of far.
Pennsylvania, I go through a little slice, and then you're in Ohio, and it's
nice.
all along Lake Erie. So he's a Lake Erie bro.
Okay, Lake Erie bro.
Lake Erie bros. We got similar architecture in our cities. We all have the like flat rails because the steel industry was here, and they were cheaper to build than concrete walls and more resilient to plows and weather. So that's why, like, if you watch a BMX food video, there's flat bars everywhere, like the fatties, like yeah. So we like. It was almost like when we were younger, crooked grinds like didn't seem like they would work because only rails we had were like 4-inch diameter rails, like
weird, yeah,
really big, and the pegs were probably 375 or whatever, like thread-on pegs.
That's fucking interesting. What you just said?
Yeah,
Lake Erie is known for steel. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Buffalo was like a huge steel city, and a few other things up like Pittsburgh Pittsburgh steel. And what was it like? Just because we're
that makes sense
on the waterway,
Steelers, okay,
on the waterway, right?
And that's how they transported it.
Erie Canal, and Pittsburgh is pretty not far from all the waterways and shit. So that was like they would truck it to wherever, put it on a boat, throw it.
Dude, imagine having to work in a fucking steel mill or like a coal mine, and we're living so luxurious.
Yeah.
I think everybody takes their job for granted.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
no, it's crazy.
Things could be so
I don't
much
know.
worse.
Life in general, like, and
yeah,
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't think looking back is like everyone always has a nostalgia because like they had more fun when they were younger because they were young,
exactly.
It doesn't make that time better. I think you just got to be in the moment.
Yeah. All right. Brant, one more. It says La Divina or Ranchos. We got to go through these quick.
Ranchos.
Okay, Ranchos.
La Divina's good though.
It sounds like restaurants.
Buffalo taco.
Okay.
Debate. They're owned by the same people. Rancho's is more of a sit-down restaurant. I picked it because they have more choices, bigger menu. But La Divina's awesome.
I like that you ran through criteria right in your head right there. That was great. Your
Taco
favorite
spots.
uncle says weekly/bi-weekly Kareem's World. Give the people what they want.
Okay, deal.
All right.
It'll be behind a 99-cent paywall per month. Is
That's
that cool,
what I'm
guys?
talking about. Yes, that should be cool.
That would pay Kareem for his time, you know, and
sign me up.
Yeah,
I'll pay.
Kareem works full time at U-Haul, like we gotta make it worth his while.
$2.
And he's in a different time zone, man. It's so hard to link up with him and shoot, but he was actually here in Buffalo. I could plug this. We have a Kareem's World Vacation that is a longer format. Maybe we'll make it a digi download. I don't know. But he came to Buffalo. He came to Buffalo, and then we went down to 9 Acres, hung out with them, and then came back up here. He was filming for his Built Different part, and we did a rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain, like kind of like a chicken wing food review at my favorite wing spot that Kareem had never been to.
Nice.
Buffalo's known for the best chicken wings. These are the best wings in Buffalo. Therefore, they are the best wings on earth, like
according to logic.
he was like blown. Like I was like, this is gonna be good. But when he ate it, he's like, this is the best fucking thing I've ever. Like he was like, and there were all the locals there are crazy because it's in the ghetto. Like I kind of live in the hood, but it was like this dude talking to us. He's like missing fingers and he's telling us all his injuries he got at work. He's in the video too. It's just some crazy guy. He's like, the hood I live in is kind of like ethnically diverse, and there's like hood rednecks. I don't know if you guys got hood rednecks where you
Hood rednecks. Yeah.
it's
Arizona,
like their country.
hood rednecks.
It's country, but they live in the hood and they work on quads and shit.
Yep.
That's like the area I live in. I love it. It's like alive and it's just people are brapping around and
that's fun.
It's unreal. I live in it's called Black Rock, Riverside, and it's amazing.
All right. White Mike says, will Fu Man ever drop ice nuts on my baby mama again?
Yeah. He will never stop dropping ice nuts on your baby's mama.
I don't know if these are fucking way over my head. This is some
I love
talk,
that you just have no idea what you're saying, and I'm answering in a different language.
Can you also ask what's the thing about BMX? What's the thing about BMX?
The thing about BMX is don't disrespect your elders like Chris Doyle. Show respect to all riders. That's the thing about BMX. Respect and love.
Boom.
Yeah. Simple.
Hi, this is Charlie's girlfriend.
Follow that, though.
Can you ask him, can you put air in my tires? XOXO Margot.
Again? Yo, I don't know what's going on. She gets a slow leak and it's always the back right tire. And I think I know what it's from, but I don't want to say it because she'll get pissed. Pulling in and cutting the corner, bumping the curb on the way into the driveway or whatever.
Whamming,
but
whamming
apart. It's the park tire that always ends up getting low, which is suspicious. So like every 10th time we go out of the house to run errands or get dinner or lunch or something or go on in nature, if we have to pump up the tire. We got to go to the thing and I got to crouch down and pump it. And she's like, did you put the valve caps back on? And I'm like, babe, those don't even do anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Guy stuff. All right. Yep. She's got two more. Here we go. What's 9 plus 10?
21.
Good. Correct. Can you make me mac and cheese and fill up my water bottle? Thank you.
Yeah, but that was yesterday. You're at work right now. Well, I have it waiting.
John Woods, I'm curious about this too. What happened to the Sony A7S?
It's right here. I got it. I just I felt like it was throttling our production. And I use it for Charlie's Angle stuff. And I filmed some 9 Acre stuff, some Clint stuff. It's like the trail. I don't know why it's become the trail cam, probably for the zoom lens.
Yeah.
And then
you got the one that
cam,
everybody has, that Benthian has, it's like a lens that goes on the A7S.
No,
but you
I'm
have
a rocker.
servo zoom.
I rock it with my hand.
Nice. I respect
that. I twist that shit. And I honestly don't zoom. Like if I do, John Woods want to get back with the real camera a lot more this year, like in the interest of like the premium content thing we were talking about, like probably should, if that is what we're going to be doing and people want to support it, let me get the best camera I can out there. But for now, it's like, this is the approach that works for our budget and our time, you know?
Makes sense.
I still use that camera quite a bit, but just, it's not the main. Yeah.
You can use it as a webcam. My A7S II right here is what I'm using as my webcam. But your webcam looks fine.
Yeah, I know. This is a Lukey or something.
Just a little, it's like one of those little actual webcams. It's not bad.
Every Amazon webcam.
Yeah, 1080p.
I've been exploring the idea of streaming something, but I don't know what. Like I maybe just playing Dave Mirra speed runs or something.
Fuck
like one day
dude.
a week and kind of more talk to the
Twitch
community and hang out and shit. And if kids send me videos, I could watch them. Thought about editing, but that's really boring to watch. I think like maybe if I have a video polished up, I could be like, all right, guys, you have any ideas for this? Like that could be spitballing. That could be the Patreon benefit, is you get to be in the editing room, right?
Yeah.
Like that'd be cool. So I've been trying to think of shit that would make it cooler for people where they'd want to be more involved,
Yeah.
I don't know. That. So I've been setting everything up, just haven't done anything with it except podcasts.
Which is dope. Works out for me because I didn't have
to
teach you how to. Most of the time, people are on their cell phones and shit.
It's like, I'm like, how do you hold this thing for 2 hours? That's insane. I would go nuts.
Predict what BMX. Oh, Dan Deal, LFS. How do you say that? Dan Dial?
Dan Deal.
Dan Deal.
Legend.
Predict what BMX will be like in 2030. That's kind of a tough one.
It could go two ways. I think it is going to go, I'm going to say what I want, right? Because that's what everyone says when they talk about like what you would like.
Yeah.
I would love to see like more freeform expression. And I would like to see like community of riders, communities like scenes kind of working together again. But in our era, it was the DVD. But in this era, it's the YouTube channel, and you guys could make some money doing that. You know, like you guys, if anyone that's listening out there with a scene, with a camera or an iPhone, and some friends who are riding, it's not about how good you are anymore. Like it's really not. It's about how you show it, and it's about.
A little bit of
I mean,
personality.
all right. If you want to be like a professional rider and ride for a team, it sort of is about how good you are, but it's also about how you present it. But then in the YouTube world, it is not about how good you are at riding your bike. It's about your experience with your bike, you know, like, and
Yeah.
that could be different than someone, your relationship with riding. It could inspire others, or it could make them feel like there are people out there like me. That's cool. You know, like
Yeah,
all of that is
exactly.
good shit, and it's monetizable now. So I would like to too, like, I got to tighten my game up with that, but I'd like to make some videos about that. Like, how could kids make money off clips right now? You know, like how
Yeah,
could you
for real.
monetize your content, you know, like BMX wise, if you are serious about it. I'd
Document
like
your
to try to do
journey.
that.
We just crossed
Yeah.
the threshold thanks to you listeners on my YouTube channel. I just got my first $100 check from Google AdSense for YouTube. So
Hey!
we out here.
That's huge. I got
Yeah,
one of
dude.
those like
Stoked.
7 years ago from the BMX food channel, and then
Yeah.
never seen another one.
Feels cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The
It's a little
Instagram
something.
monetization is kind of crazy right now. You've been messing with the Reels bonus.
Yeah,
You should speak on the
for
Reels
my
bonus.
boss. Yeah.
Yeah, like certain accounts get it, certain don't. But if you're uploading Reels, check in your professional dashboard for the Reels bonus, activate it, you get like a couple bucks for your clips, something here and there,
Yeah.
and all that shit adds up. If you are
And
looking to, you know, if you're passionate about whatever media or content or
it
riding,
incentivizes you to go get a clip every day too. It's like more motivation to go ride.
yeah, 7 to 8 clips.
Fucking sell out for $3. You got this.
Yeah.
All right, Kush Plumbing 69. He's
Ooh,
got he numbered them for
great
me.
username.
Four questions. One, what makes me your favorite rider?
The way you ride and the shape of your body and the shape of your mind. Mostly the shape of your mind.
Two, why do you think I usually always win our games of bike?
Because you're delusional if you think you're selling product. I mean, winning games with the bike.
Three, talk about almost getting on Road Fools. Did you almost get on Road Fools?
Yeah. Road Fools like did a online voting thing. And from what I was told after the fact, I had won, but they thought that there was some fudging of the numbers. I was like 17, posting videos on bmxboard.com. Shout out to BMXboard OGs.
Yes.
Shout out to Sinister, wherever you are. That was the admin, like the dude who made the site. I would love to see him on a podcast if he's out there still, you know.
Sinister, hit me up.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just posting videos on there and Bike Guide. Shout out to Sheepdog. And you know, we were early. I was early I just had a camera. I was internet, and I don't know. I was just like a kid doing exactly kind of what I think I'm here to do, you know, like I was doing it. And then the Road Fools thing came out, and I was kind of like, you know, people post videos on the forum and they become like characters on there who are riders. And, you know, it was like a early social media.
Yeah, it was. I remember
And,
the forum days.
like pre-YouTube, you know, and you have to download the files to watch them and shit. So it was like super old, and like, but the Road Fools thing came out, and they were like, everyone I think was kind of collectively, this would be hilarious if we get Charlie on this, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, dear God, no, you know, like I'm so nervous. I don't want to go on Road Fools. I'm not good enough yet, you know, like I knew I would get there, but but
that's pretty cool.
yeah, I just you know, the voting was going up, and then all of a sudden, one of the sponsors of Road Fools, the Shadow Conspiracy, got Ryan Shera. All of a sudden he won out of nowhere. So it's like I see the writing on the wall there. And then I was at the Toronto Jam. I think it was still the Metro Jam at that point. Marco had a props booth. I walked up to the props booth and introduced myself. I said, I'm such a big fan of your videos. And I think it was something where I said I was Charlie, and he said, like, wait, Charlie Crumlish. And like my heart stopped for a second, and like I was like, what? And he's like, dude. And he like, but I don't want to sound narcissistic. This is literally what happened. He bowed down in front of me and was like, dude, you have one hell of a following on the internet. And I was like, that was maybe like a moment where, like, I don't know, when I was young, like,
that's gotta feel good.
This is before I met you, even. I was like the internet.
Yeah.
Like before that shit. Like
I knew of you.
Rider, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was weird, just early internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, yeah, I just, thankfully they've rigged it and put Ryan Share on instead of me, because I was riding. I don't think I was at the level where I would have been able to, you know, like And then maybe you get stereotyped after that point.
Maybe
or
that would have
whatever.
changed your entire
It would
career
have changed the path.
trajectory.
What
That's
happened
interesting.
happened, and it happened for a reason.
All right. Number 4, Kush Plumbing 69. We covered this a little bit. What's the deal with eggs?
Egg equal clip.
Egg
You guys,
equal clip.
everyone listening, you're a biker. You're on a budget, right? Take the eggs. You boil the water. Wait till the water's boiled. Don't put them in at the beginning. Wait till the water's boiled. Timer, 7 minutes. Take out, put in cold bath. Dry them off before you put them in the bag, because otherwise the bag gets the water on the inside. They start sliding and cracking into each other, and then you get yolk drips. One time, Greg cut this is coming up in the food video that we're making. There's a scene called the egg bag. That's like a Jackass skit. I've already said, I think you can, the egg bag, you know, and I'm Greg Henry. This is the egg bag. So watch out for that. Yeah, they get you clips. I swear it's the omegas or something like those fatty amino acid oil, whatever it is. Like
it's that good shit,
it's
dude.
brain fuel and body fuel. Cause like riding is a lot of mental too. Like, you know, chess players burn like 5,000 calories sitting there thinking.
Yeah.
So what about when you're thinking about doing a feeble 180 half cab, feeble 360, manual 180, manual 180, manual 180?
Yeah, with the foofanu
right?
in the middle.
The Ballman
at
the end of that whole thing. Ballman around the corner out of frame. That's thinking and fit. That's like, chess is cool, but that has to be way more,
that's
you know, like
way more calories, man.
And I was drinking for so long. I think there's a tendency to think that beer, you know, it's like it gives me superpowers and stuff. Like, but I think it's just the caloric intake. Like, it's more calories.
Calories.
Like,
it's like Gatorade.
Yeah. So when I
beer.
quit drinking the beers all the time, I was bringing like bags of oranges and eggs. Like, you know, like I need carbohydrates and I need this and that. And like when you start feeding your body like that, like real time out of the spot and feeling it and stuff, it's like really like.
That's real.
You feel
so
like
you really do believe egg.
You feel like a
clip.
superhero. Egg equals clip. Next time you want to get a clip, eat the egg. Well, try it and then eat the egg and then try it and feel the difference. I'm telling you.
I do enjoy a hard boiled egg, man. But I'm not gonna bring them out in the streets. I'm not gonna put them in my
you should
my camera bag.
You gotta put ice in there. No, you need a food bag separate, dude. No, grocery bag. Go on.
Ask about sweet and sour sauce. I don't even want to.
Oh my god, I know who this is from. Oh boy.
Kush Plumbing 69.
It's a good. Oh, I thought the person involved with the sweet and sour sauce asked the question. It's just a good sauce from McDonald's. We can leave it at that.
Okay, yeah.
Yo, I'll tell you off the record about that one. We don't want to lose our monetization. We've done.
That'll go on the Patreon. All right. West Side Legend Clay Johnson says 20-inch NYC.
I can't believe I forgot to shout out 20-inch NYC in the BMX forum shout outs, but that was another pre-social media community of riders that I'm still friends with tons of people from that community today. Yes.
Sick.
Yeah.
So he must have been on there too.
He was on there. And that was the first time I saw like Arizona footage, probably like from that wasn't Rat Boy and them, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Zuka.
Clay, Zuka, Pegleg,
and
Devin
Robbie.
File.
Yeah.
Devin went out there and was filming with them, but they had their own thing going a little bit before that too. And shout out to Devin. He and I have had our differences over the years. We always kind of like would butt heads when we were on trips together. But in retrospect, he had such great taste in riders, like with who he highlighted riding wise. And BMX, I would say, is better off as a result of the video projects that Devin worked on, you know?
For real.
Really,
where's he at now?
Really good taste with like the riders that he put on his team and chose to film with and the tricks that they did and everything. Very, very tasteful, like expression of what he felt about BMX, you know? And I think I would argue because I felt different, but now it's like I celebrate those differences, you know, like that's cool.
You are mature now. You are mature.
Maturing.
Dude, we're not going to get through all these questions.
You see you scrolling every once in a while? And it looks like there's quite a few on there.
What's favorite brake maneuver? Rubio rides BMX.
Hurricane.
Scariest.
But the 360 version too, sometimes like the 180 tap 180 sometimes feels better.
Okay.
Scariest brake variation. Anytime you have to gap into a Fufanu is really scary.
Yeah.
Like gapping out of them isn't very scary. Like I've done some pretty decent gaps like out of Fufanus, but when you have to fly into that precise point, I got melted in the S&M Built Different trailer. There's a clip of it on a Fufanu at 9 acres. Like it's a hip that they hit to the left, but I was hitting it backwards to the right, Fufanu in the back of the lip and then back of the landing.
I know that clip.
That clip that I don't want to be that guy, but that clip doesn't do how scary that shit was justice. The first one I flip back and it's like if I go over it, it's like I'm going downhill into this launch that's a vert ramp, basically. You know, I'm like on the back
Yeah.
of a vert ramp. Like I'm kind of a bigger dude.
Those,
So like
those
I've
trails,
never really
dudes.
yeah, I've never really been into doing big shit because I'm so big it doesn't make it look big. So for how scary it is for me, it still looks like a medium-sized spot,
Right.
you
Yeah. You
know?
got the David Grant curse.
I try to just do what I want to do. Yeah, and David
Yeah.
just puts 20 more stairs on the end of it. So
Yeah.
that works for him.
David said
Like
to me once, he's like, "It's all relative, man. I'm
yeah,
6'6", so this is a small rail." I'm like, "That's fucking nuts."
I
dude."
know it is till it's not.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, for real.
certain realities of rails doesn't matter how big it is. Yeah, I used to push myself more to do that kind of shit. Now I really just kind of ride from whatever the hell I want to do that day, you know? Like and I like those clips better anyway. When I look back at the scary stuff, I'm just like, doesn't even look big. You know, like
It wasn't even
that
worth
was
it. Fuck
scary
it.
as fuck. Why did I do that? I mean, I'm happy I did it, but now it's like not that I'm opposed to doing anything scary now. It's just like I don't feel like I need to like, I don't know, prove myself to myself on that level or whatever.
Yeah. Good. All right. Thank you, Rubio Rides BMX. All right. Let's see. TSBZ. Oh, wait. He's got two more. So, Rubio, would you cry if Josh Allen got traded to the Raiders?
Yes. There's no shot of that happen though.
Okay. No shot. And then this one I would have asked you at the end anyway. So, what's your favorite clip that you've ever filmed in front and behind the lens? So, like, what's your favorite memory
Oh
or
man.
over your vast career? What sticks out?
That's pretty good. It's a really good question. Dude, I had an answer to this clip one. Like, I remember talking to someone the other day and be like, that's my favorite clip I've ever gotten. And I don't remember what it was. Like, I don't remember at all. There's like a bunch that are special for like a variety of reasons. Dude, I'm trying to think of what this one is, and I'm like, it's gone from my mind. But I did the trick, you know? Like I
Yeah.
did it and I landed it and I probably put it in a video and
Half cab to Smith to Field to the 3. I'm just
that one.
pulling something out of my ass. I don't know.
I mean, there's the one like the last clip in my Ruin Your Whole Summer part was like cab, double peg, 360 down a rail.
That's pretty dope.
Like before anyone else did that. I don't know if anyone else has still done that, but it was like a long time ago too. So it was kind of like George D had done half cab to rail, a few other people, but I was like the next generation. Like maybe me and Carl were the only two people doing it. And I don't know if Carl's got pegs 3 like that, if I'm being honest. Yeah, he's got
No.
other shit, but yeah.
You're talking about Carl Pointer.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you, which that makes me ask, because you half cab into rails, but it's like you regular spin into
Switch grind,
opposite,
but it's
opposite
like
grind. Is it a switch grind or no?
No, it's other regular.
Other regular. So
Yes.
you're just that good. Which side did you learn on first? Like
Kind of
proper?
both, man. It was crazy. I never diagnosed, but I feel like I have a little touch of the like.
You
I was
wanted to be able to
diagnosed.
do it on both sides.
I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was young, like really young, like school grades slip or whatever, testing good, whatever, like what's going on, not paying attention, and diagnosed with like a pretty substantial attention deficit.
They
And
throw
with
you on
that,
all the amphetamines.
OCD is kind of, yeah, I was on amphetamines. Then I told my mom I wanted to go off. And then I
Yeah.
started sucking at school again, but being good at sports again. So it's like this whole
Straight off.
And then I lost my train of thought because of ADD. No. OCD can be tied to that. And I'll probably talk to someone soon about it, but it's much better now than when I was young. When I was young and I was walking upstairs, I'd have to like touch a handrail with both hands in school.
Oh shit.
And like if I
Okay.
stepped on a crack with my left foot, I had to step on it with my right. Like I was in my own head for a really long time.
Now I can just feel you wanting to be able
Yeah.
to grind on both sides.
Yeah. So like a grind on left side, it's like, oh, kind of itchy over here. I'm like, hey, yeah, there we go. Yeah. So it was always both sides. And there was
Nice.
one time, and this is funny because this goes back to like sort of like staying true to like who you are, you know, and not trying to do what you think is cool. My dad would always kind of like work on my bikes for me. Like I come from a bike family. Like my dad's a registered nurse. He works in the ICU, but he's a bike guy. He like races on the weekends. He organizes bike races, cyclocross, mountain bike, road bike.
Oh.
Loves that shit. So I grew up in like a greasy basement filled with bike parts pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
And I took my pegs off and my front brake. I think I took both brakes off and I was running left side pegs. And I was like, this is how all the cool guys are doing it right now. It's 2000 or whatever, 1999. This is the shit. And my dad like for Christmas, he got me some new bike parts and he rebuilt my bike up with like new wheels or something, and put all four pegs and both brakes back on. And I like didn't have the heart to tell him that that wasn't cool. But what's really cool is he knew what was cool. Like maybe even without knowing it. What's cool is being an original, like being a unique, like
Yeah.
not trying to conform to the norm, just
Yeah. I
here,
see.
all
Yeah, I
four
like that.
pegs. And then he probably was thinking about it, like, oh, something on that side, do a trick on that side, like whatever. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know how he thought about it, maybe just from a symmetry standpoint, but
Yeah.
that affected my riding going forward for the positive, So it's
Shout
like
out Pops. Damn,
Pop
that's awesome.
Crumb. And
Papa
shout out
Crumb.
mom. Yeah. Yeah. My parents were always like reluctantly supportive, like very supportive, but also like, why are you fucking up in school?
Yeah.
And like now they kind of understand, I guess, but I don't know.
Well, you like took your passion and you're living a life in your mid 30s.
I guess, yeah, that's something
You're doing it, man.
tell your parents about.
Yeah, for real. Mom, Dad, I did it. Look at me.
I did it. Look, they're like, all right, whatever. You got health insurance yet?
Do you know how popular I am on the internet, Mom? Come on.
Mom.
Mom. Let's see. TSBZ423 says, how sick was it to meet Mike that created Trailer Park Boys on the S&M Winds trip?
Amazing. Dude,
that's pretty cool.
It's the universe, sort of like just a weird reverberation. I'm not one of those vibrating state. I'm not like that. I mean more like personality mesh, and your thought patterns might mesh, and like, Trailer Park Boys resonated with us growing up a tremendous amount, because anyone who's been to Canada understands that that's pretty much a documentary. It's not even like, it's a little satirical, but it's like, I know people like these, like he's not even any different than J-Rock. I know a guy just like J-Rock, like, what you need, motherfucker? Like, all right, I need shrooms in an hour. Fuck else am I gonna do with the other 55 minutes? You know what I'm saying? I'm back at 5. Like, it's like, that is just like, it's like soaked in Canadian culture. So like, we love that shit. And then so we connected online, like on Instagram. I think I said something on one of his photos of like, like it was a liquor store, and I think I wrote like fucking sick pick bud or something just stupid, and then he started looking at our BMX shit. It was like sick fucking grind,
Yeah.
And I started sending him videos, and then I'm like, where you at? Like, I thought he was in the East Coast of Canada. He's like, oh, I'm in LA. I'm like, dude, we're like going out there in a couple of months for a trip. Like, we should just try to link up and maybe shoot something. Or like, I don't even think I said shoot something, dude. I think I just was like, come and check out what we do, like, if you'd like to come and enter our world, we're going to be doing it at this time of here. And he's like, oh yeah, he was like excited to.
That's sick.
Mike Clattenburg, creator, director of Trailer Park Boys and like a bunch of other cool shit in Canadian television. But so it was Hoder wake up at 5 a.m, banging on all of our hotel room doors, getting us up to do the sunset car wash.
Oh yeah,
jump up the car wash that Hoder did, right? So that's just a trick that Hoder's wanted to do his whole life. Like, his mom lived in California for a bit, and I don't know if you know this, but Mike went to high school with Dak for like a year in Huntington.
Okay.
Like, so he had a Cali connection. He used to ride his bike by that thing. On the Winds trip, his mom was living closer to that part of LA. So he was passing it. Mike was out for a little bit before we came out. We knew all this shit was going down. Hoder, not Clattenburg.
Right. Yeah.
So I hit up Clattenburg the night before, like, we're doing it. I think we're going to be there at 7 a.m. We're shooting it for 7 because we had to get it with no traffic. And got up, go there. The dude's just there, Mike's there. I introduced myself. He's got his camera out already, and he starts filming us, like, and I'm like, this is insane. And we're doing the thing, and he's like shocked that we would just pull up in a van, jump out. Hoder climbs on the roof. All of us are going around the block in the van. Then we start towing Hoder in the middle of Sunset Boulevard. Like, he was just like, this is guerrilla filmmaking. Like, I think like,
I love that. Yeah.
This is someone who I've like kind of like idolized his work and, looked up to this dude. And now he's here shooting us, and he's stoked. Like, this is insane. And then
because in his world, you have to be on set, and there's craft services and rules and all that shit.
When he told us when Trailer Park Boys started, it was just like that. He's like, dude, you guys are doing it just like we did it, dude. Like, this is awesome, So it's just one of those things where you got to keep it like true to yourself, and you attract those kinds of people in your life that can like help you out or give you advice or. Yeah, like I just talked to him the other day about like audio mixing, like compressing stuff.
Sick. Yeah.
He's there, and I just really it's kind of crazy when you like, I don't think about it like that because I'll just kind of hit him up and then I'm like, dude, this motherfucker made Trailer Park Boys, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty
holy
cool.
shit. Like,
Holy shit, bud. That's a pretty damn good
yeah, I
show,
don't know.
bud.
He's like, yeah, affected. It's just the Canadian culture forever and like
What's the
world
other one?
culture. I don't
There's
know.
another show right now that is
Letterkenny.
yeah, so good. I
That's the
love Letterkenny. Yeah.
imitation Trailer Park Boy.
Yeah.
That's good though.
All right, let's see. Tom Lloyd says, "Who run Team Weed?"
It's a team and all the followers of Team Weed run it. I love that page.
Ooh, I like
Great
that.
page.
Democracy.
Yeah. It's called
Uh,
Team.
Tom Lloyd says, "Most overrated BMXer." I love this question.
Tom Lloyd.
Tom,
I don't even know who he is.
That's pretty good.
That's what you get for asking a negative ass question like that.
There's one that I bring up often, but
Overrated?
No, the Mount Rushmore of riders who are
Wait,
good,
did he say
but you
under?
can't stand watching. He said,
"Oh,
overrated.
can't stand watching."
No, Tom Lloyd said most overrated.
Who's good, but you
BMXer.
can't stand watching?
But that's my question.
Dude, I almost like.
Lufa asked me that at the bar once. He's like, "Who's your Mount Rushmore of riders that are good, but you can't stand watching?" And I was like, "This is a fun game."
I don't, dude. For me, I like bad shit too. Like I like good, bad. I like weird. I would almost welcome a video where someone is like, "This guy sucks," or "I hate his style," because
Yeah.
I'd be like, "I gotta see this style. It really made an emotional response in you." You know, like,
Yeah,
what does this person have going on that affected you so strongly that it stood out to you in this way? You know,
that
like
you hate it.
and that's that perspective thing of like his perspective is this, but for me, I just hear, hey, there's something interesting going on over here. Let's go check it out.
For real.
Yeah. I'm so
Right.
like, you know, like things get homogenized and then something like that stands out. I welcome. But I'm trying to think of like an example. I can't even really put a name to that.
No,
I love watching everyone ride. I honestly do.
I can't think of anybody overrated. Everybody's just rated.
People that have like personally tried to attack me in the past, like one person in particular, I can't stand watching ride, but it's because of that. It's not his riding.
Yeah.
Which to be fair is subpar, but you know, whatever. It's like personal reasons. It has nothing really to do with the riding.
What's your Tom Lloyd again? Favorite cruise outside of the US?
Motorbunka, Nanahoy. That's HHX.
Okay. I've seen HH.
They're like Ukrainian Russian border boys. Like the Russian thing is sensitive nowadays, but it's, you know, not on the people of Russia for what's going on. There's a lot of good people.
Yeah, for real.
There, you know,
dude, the Russian crew is so crazy. Yeah. Is that HHX that I'm thinking of?
Yep. Nanahoy is I think I use Nanahoy. Like, that's how you say it in Russian. I don't know.
So dope.
I'm like, how do you say that? And it means, this is the craziest thing. So Pasha is from that crew.
Yeah.
He and I were internet friends, and then I invited him to my house for like a month, and he just hung out, and we filmed like a crazy part. And BMX Fu and HHX, like we were parallel for so long, and we saw them putting out videos, and like you could be so similar to people on the other side of the earth that speak a different language. And he came over and we couldn't even talk to each other the first few days. His first time to the US, he comes to Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
And like it was just so cool. Nanahoy, like HHX means fuck you in Russian, and BMX fuck you. Like it's like so funny. Like so it's just it's kindred spirits, and it's like a healthy exchange of ideas and values and culture. Yeah. It's
beautiful.
Cool. Yeah.
That's a good answer. All right.
And I really like Ride BMX Africa. It's like another portal into another completely other world. You know?
No shit.
Like the African
That's an Instagram account. Ride BMX Africa. It's like
bar manual hop whip on flat and a dirt road. It's amazing. Like
that is amazing.
They got some spots too though, but I feel like for whatever, like if I lived there, I would film more on a dirt road because I think it would do better online. You know?
Yeah.
No, but I love seeing that world, or just any different little, you know, you poke in and you're like, well, these kids are sick. They got their own thing going on.
Yeah. You get it. I like seeing glimpses of it in Courage Adams documentary style videos where he goes back and it's so cool.
I know, and you see like the state, it's almost like the sport is older back then. It's like in the state it was here a while ago there, you know.
Yeah.
Like
it's trippy.
There's not a lot of parts and they're putting them together, and these bikes look crazy, but they're ripping, and it's so sick. Yeah.
I think just enjoying the little shit. Like just
that's what you would lose
if
everyone did the same thing, that would go away. So
yeah, you know. For real. Hawaii Island BMX. What size top tube do you run?
21.25, but I think about all the time, should I go to 21.5 or what would a 21 feel like? You know, that like quarter inch difference.
Yeah.
But like 21.25 is like
Perfect.
my base level
I
average
think
top
I
tube
think I
size.
should be on a 21.25, but I'm on 21. And then
Can't
he
imagine
also
that's
asked your
what we would
preferred
feel like.
rear end length. You like the
13.4-ish, like a
13.4?
13.25 slammed rear end, then pull it back a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I don't know what that falls at exactly, but somewhere in there.
Trying to, yeah, I don't know if I have a strong opinion on the little
Needs to be
snappy
just a little
scooter
more than
bikes.
13.
Yeah,
13 is not enough. 13.25 is just where I start feeling like you actually have legs involved in the equation where you're jumping like off the
yeah,
platform of the rear end
yeah.
rather than just like pull up your
Yeet.
handlebars and
Yeah,
then you keep yeeting upward. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That became a trend. Not like I don't know, 6 years, started 5 or 6 years ago, where all the back ends
Leggy.
started getting shorter.
No legs, mostly arm riding. Yes.
Yeah, it's
And like
interesting.
people's legs are almost like behind them, they're like an afterthought and they're doing push-ups on the handlebars. Like
Yeah,
all
that's
the nose
weird.
wheelie trends and stuff I think are probably a result of that balance point changing there.
I love that. All right, let's see.
Hey, we on 10.5s though. That's the new shit. That's a game
The foo
changer.
bars.
The new 10.5s are crazy. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like super bunny hop lever. It's crazy. I was
nice.
scared at first, and half an inch, man, can make a big difference. you know?
Yep. Why is Team SAF the best biking organization?
I can't believe I
By
forgot to.
Marmo Fanatic.
When I was mentioning crews earlier, I should have mentioned them first. SAF crew.
Are they from the United States or no?
Yeah, they're from Jersey, but
Yeah.
earlier when we were talking about crews
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
influential earlier, like when we saw those videos, it was one of those things like Greg and I see them and we don't really know them, but they're doing something that feels like what we're doing. And it was because they made exactly what they felt, like that's that simple concept we keep going back to. And I just respect that so much from like a rider standpoint and like a video standpoint. And like, it's weird. You can watch a video and be like, oh, I get along with these fuckers, like, and then they had a since scrubbed from the internet vlog where they went around town just drinking beers and getting drunk and riding, and then they puke at the end because they're so drunk. And it's so funny, but they had to take it down. But it's so good. Like me and Greg watched that so many times, and then we went to Jersey one time to hang out with Mark Mavison, who's the maker of that video. And we were like reenacted the whole video like from the basement. It starts, and we went to the liquor store they go to, the bar, and we wrote all the spots they rode that day. And we like
sick.
There's some photos I could dig up and send you of us like all pictures at all the sites of that
Like
video.
tourists. That's awesome.
Literally we did a tourism day there. But SAF is just hard, raw shit that like when it comes from someone else's heart who's so passionate and it hits you like that, you're just like, I fucking feel your fire, bro. I was like, really that shit, like as strongly as.
What does SAF stand for? Street as fuck?
It's like that's probably the main, like the first one that people would go to.
Yeah.
Searching acronyms forever. You could just, that type of thing. You could just search acronyms forever with, a letter like.
Is that really what it is? SAF?
That's another one.
Searching acronyms forever. That's great.
There's another really good one. I can't remember. There's so many. Taj too, like the Taj frame had a bunch of those. Tart apple juice. Todd's a jerk.
Todd's a jerk.
They're like on the Hoffman stickers. Yeah, this shit was fire.
Wibby 710 says, "How's the Buffalo scene now compared to the past?"
I think, dude, it's like the same. It's crazy. I see dudes that I grew up riding with still at the skate park, like
nice.
30 years, 20 years later, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's everyone's kind of adults and doing their own thing, and some have kids, and some have demanding jobs or work at night or whatever. Everyone's on different schedules, but then there's this little skate park over near me, LaSalle Park, that I'll just like pedal over to sometimes, and it's like at any given time there's one of the OGs there from like that I grew up looking up to, like still kind of hanging out. Like Jim C still rides. He's in town.
Hell yeah.
Like, yeah, like it's pretty sick, dude. Like the more things change, the more they stay the same. And like people go out of BMX, they come back in, and it's like, like awesome.
I've seen a lot of that.
No time has passed, and it's like you weren't even gone. It's awesome. Yeah.
All right. People, places, bikes says.
That's what I was just talking about. Mark Mavison.
Okay. Ask Charlie about the feature film that him, Greg Henry, and I are gonna film.
We've already said too much.
All right.
We're working on a screenplay.
I like that.
This is back burner. This is like I have my work stuff,
Yeah.
Got to keep the bills paid, got to keep the shit rolling. But I've always wanted to make a movie since I was a little kid.
Nice.
Always. I've been obsessed with cinema. Like watching Kubrick movies with my mom and dad when I was like 5 years old or whatever, like
Oh
6 years old,
shit.
watching
Yeah.
2001: A Space Odyssey with my
Yeah.
parents, like, and them explaining filmmaking. Like both my parents have filmmaker brains, but they don't make films. It's so
Nice.
fucking weird. Like
Yeah.
they were just really into film. And like my mom introduced me to all these horror movies and shit when I was really young that were like probably warped my brain, but I think for the better,
Yeah.
like, and like my dad would break it down like this director style is this and this, you can see with the cinematography this and the story this and that, and like
Yeah.
so I had building blocks from like a young age, and I've applied those to like BMX, and I think that's why like it's so fun and easy. Like it's like the first time I edited a video and I sat down at a computer at my friend's house, he had an editing program and a camera. Like I sat down and it was like, hello old friend, yes. And I like it
Yes.
felt like I put my hands in the glove, like, and I was like united with something that, like I don't know how
Yeah.
life works, I don't know how the universe
This
works.
is meant for me.
It was meant for me,
That's
and
great.
it was just like, like I think
Do
happiness
you
is an
remember what was the
indicator of
program that you
that,
first started on? Final Cut Pro
Windows Movie
7?
Maker.
Windows Movie Maker. Nice.
Yeah, and like I just remember sitting at his house, like we came home from school, he brought his camera that he got for his birthday or something, maybe I think he borrowed his dad's camera, my friend Ben Friedman. And my other friend Brad Caruana and Chris Caruana, brothers, they all lived in this one neighborhood. And we left school, brought the camera. They had a spot near their house that we still ride all the time called the Platform at Windermere Elementary School. I could maybe send you a couple clips. There's been a bunch of food clips there.
Okay.
Filmed some clips there, went to his house and just edited it to a G Unit song because we just watched Can I Eat? You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
and like I had kind of messed around. Like when I was a kid, I had always edited videos and stuff, but I wasn't editing in the non-linear. I was like editing on my tape on my camera.
Right.
Like early stuff that I posted on the internet wasn't even really edited. It was like cut up and it was like crazy, Like
Yeah.
I was making films since I was a kid, but on a camera, and they'd be on the tape and you'd have to play the tape and plug it in. And me and my brother would shoot, like we shot this movie about this guy with an evil twin that killed him when we were camping one time. Like it's called What's Up with the Axe Larry. And I should dig it up because we were
Yeah,
all
for
acting
real.
and shit. And like it actually has a pretty good little twist at the end. And like,
Nice.
so I've always been into it. And I've made a bunch of short films over the years and stuff. But like right now, BMX, I'm just so happy and so blessed. And I need to show it like the respect. And I want to be in this so much.
Right.
But there's always like the yin to the yang. And like, so we're working on a movie about, should I tell you like a basic, you want to plot
Yeah.
basic
Summary.
one sentence summary maybe?
Synopsis.
um Aliens controlling humans through technology and government weed.
Nice.
Two main characters fighting that, and a lot of historical ties to local things here, in a hydroelectric manner. Niagara Falls, there's an old legend about Nikola Tesla built a death ray under the falls. So I always knew about that legend, and that was always kind of like, this is cool. Like
Yeah.
he was here doing construction. He did our hydroelectric shit in like World Fair with I don't know, early 1900s, and they turned the falls off so they could do construction and stuff. So like the movie premise is that
I like where
put it
like
together. I don't want to say too much in
Yeah.
case anyone tries to steal it, but
Yeah.
those two things are going to connect.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
And we're really writing like an actual like script outline now, and
A
it's
proper
sort of just,
screenplay.
it's like,
type shit.
yeah, I'm like working up the courage to ask Mike Clattenburg like how to write a script, like I don't want to, I never want my relationship with him to be like
Good. There's
me
an
trying
app
to get a come
called
up, but
Studio Binder. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
Look up Studio Binder when you're done here, and
It's just like a formatted, ready to go.
it has
thing.
everything. So like everything production wise, like from
Make a note.
like crew list and call sheets to scripts and templates, and it like everything production Studio
Yeah.
Binder. It's pretty
We're
dope.
just gonna plan it out like that, and if it takes 10 years to shoot it, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
independent. Like we watched that Terrifier movie the other night. They made it for 35K, and it's incredible. So I think with
For
creative
real.
filmmaking and good story, you can do a lot.
That's what I think the future is like. kids are going to be able to produce if they have the
I want
right
to produce it, just
idea
put it
on
on
an
YouTube.
iPhone. You know, like you
Yeah,
can
produce it.
feature length films
Yeah,
shot
and
and
then
edited on an iPhone. You know,
no
it's kind of crazy.
distribution, YouTube.
Yeah,
That's your
exactly.
distribution.
That's
So that's
that's
the
what's happening
plan.
in
We
comedy
would
right
just drop
now.
it on the BMX food channel. You know what I mean? Like, and there's
Yeah.
gonna be BMX in it. Like, you know, it's like I want to make something in that space. Just because I watch some movies and I'm like, this movie hits, and I watch other movies and I'm like, I respect the work that they put into this, but this is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is horrible. How did this end up on Netflix? You know,
Oh,
like,
I just remembered the other horror
sure, you
movie
guys all
that I
worked
saw.
hard, but the idea was bad.
I know it's and that's like, dude, imagine being like just halfway done with something that you already know is gonna like it's already
You got to finish
shit.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and it's
gotta
like
finish it.
compartmentalize it. That's part of the value of like independent filmmaking is like you'd be in control of that more than we have X amount of time to like. I just want to cast my friends and shoot when we have time to do it while we're on ride near where that scene would be or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like that
exactly.
type of thing. Yeah.
On the movie note, this is totally tangent from earlier, but the scary movie Smile. Have you seen that?
No, but I heard pretty good things.
Fucking bone chilling, dude.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
You gotta get Terrifier in your blood, dude. That shit ain't even. I
I'm
haven't
ready-
seen
I'm ready for
Smile, but
Terrifier.
Terrifier is like just it
Give you goosebumps.
it like yeah,
What-
like
or
the
is
best
it
kind
like
of goosebumps,
slasher?
but also just like open your mind
Just
to
fun
like, holy
slasher?
fuck, you can go that far, you know? Like
Okay, yeah, let's go.
just like they really did it. Like
me and Shorty are gonna
they didn't
watch
hold
Terrifier
back.
right after this. That's
One
for
and
sure.
two, bro. One is really good.
Okay.
Two, I liked two, maybe more than one, just because like not because they had more money, because they still kind of kept it under, you know, like they didn't make it look expensive. They just had like more expensive dream scenes, you know, like it wasn't like
Yeah.
it was like the bones are the same. Two just has, I don't know, the funniest kill scene I've ever seen in a slasher movie ever.
Hell yeah.
Ever. For anyone who's seen it, the bedroom scene with Allie.
Yeah.
And then I went on the YouTube comments and I was like reading through. I was crying on the floor. I was because it's so over the top that you know the director is laughing. His like it's the comedy is in this
Yes.
ridiculous cartoon, insane guy who loves killing people. Like, and I looked at the YouTube comments and they're all just like, this scene was so horrific. I cried. This is so sad. He hurt her so badly. And then I'm like, wait, no, he's just joking. It's
Whoosh.
just a joke.
Just went right over their
It
heads.
was amazing. And I'm like, maybe I'm a psychopath. Hey.
That's also a possibility.
Then I found some comments that resonated with me and I felt better about myself. That's what you should
there's
do with the
others like me. Yeah, go read every single comment and let it take it to heart.
Take it seriously. You'll have a good time.
I can answer this one. Cuyt Toro says, "What's your main video editor?" Premiere Pro. That's what you edit on.
Premiere Pro. Only that.
There's this move. Everybody's moving to DaVinci, at least like in the cinema world, and I'm just
everyone's moving to electric bicycles too. But I'm still out here pedaling.
Yeah, on the Surons, dude.
Yeah,
you seen those?
That's what everyone's conforming. You got to just do you
conform. What's the homie's name? Talon Pemberton in Texas. He rips that electric bike. Just
I know
like
him.
He's taking it to another level. It's pretty sick.
Oh yeah, I'm not hating
and
on
his
electric
YouTube
bike.
is growing.
I just mean like it's a different thing or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I got a good friend that is an electric one wheeler. He fucking kills it.
It's so crazy. Like it's just a silent motorcycle. Just anyway.
I'm all for doing tricks on whatever you want to do a trick on. It's like all biking to me.
The devil. Chris Doyle 22 says
that dude.
Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux.
So you had an actual question from him.
Yeah, Chris Doyle asks you that.
Him. That's him.
That's him.
That's him. That is him. I forgot it.
He's him.
What's the question again? Him. I just got so.
How do you pronounce?
I got flustered. I got a little nervous.
How do you pronounce Mario Lemieux?
Mario Lemieux.
Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky. Lemieux over Gretzky 1,000,000,000 billion trillion times to one. That's like asking Braun versus MJ. It's Braun.
It's Braun.
It's Braun. He's him. How is it
him.
MJ, dog? How is it MJ? The marketing? I understand he had great marketing. The way that the league made it easier for him.
Incomparable.
The way the league changed the foul calls so that he could excel, and they don't call fouls on LeBron, and he's still gonna break the scoring record after 20 years in the league. He's still getting 30 points a game, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, whatever it is. Jeez.
The only solid argument
I think it's 28
is the amount of rings.
Right
LeBron doesn't have as many rings.
Jordan was playing against plumbers and carpenters. Dude. If you looked at the competition, it was like plumbers and carpenters, and then Karl Malone, John Stockton. You know, like. So the game, the way the analytics work, the way that everything works, the way the refs rigged everything for MJ because Nike was running the league and they were selling shoes, and MJ was a great player, and I'm going to catch a lot of shit for this take, but LeBron is better. MJ was incredible, but
I
he
can
had
see the
like
argument.
MJ had everything working for him. Braun seems like the league doesn't even like him. Like he has the
Yeah.
lowest fouls per drive out of anyone in the league, and he's LeBron fucking James. Are you kidding me? Like
Yeah.
this shit, it gets me hot, dog. LeBron needs more foul calls, dude. Like he should be getting to the line 7 times a game minimum. I think he's averaging 1 to 2 or something. Like it's
He's a
crazy.
juggernaut.
Yeah, they're just trying to nerf him, dude, because protect MJ's
For real.
legacy, protect Kareem's legacy. It's a moneymaker, dude. It's a money machine.
LeBron.
Got to follow the money. LeBron James and Cleveland, Akron, Buffalo. It's they're not that far.
All right.
Plus, like, man, like you want to go back to basketball and MJ and them. Like 6-0, yeah, but how many times did MJ miss the fucking playoffs, dog? Do we want to talk about that? Like early in his career too, like not like now, like Braun on a shitty team, like yeah, man. MJ's great. I grew up idolizing him, but LeBron James, dude, and Mario Lemieux for that matter over Wayne Gretzky. Wayne, I have the same complaints. The league was putting Wayne on a pedestal, and just kind of like there's you couldn't touch him. Like there's a joke going back to the MJ thing. Magic Johnson puts his arm around Michael, but not touch him. He's like, can't get close to Michael. They'll call a foul.
Oh yeah.
Braun doesn't get that. And same with Lemieux and Gretzky. Gretzky got that shit. Lemieux had to earn that shit the hard way, the Pittsburgh way. So it's obviously Lemieux. Thank you, him, for the question.
Chris Doyle, you him, man.
It's him.
Chris Doyle also
clip that.
He also made Joe Jarvis go sober. So Chris Doyle is him. Dude.
I know. Yeah, dude, that story was amazing. That was a really good poll you got there.
Tom Edge says your editing is mad. What's up with that? What kind of like what?
I have a group of people around me too that are just as crazy. So this is all of us and all of our ideas. I'll
tell you my favorite.
I'm just a conduit.
My favorite cut in from Built Different is the door stopper.
Yeah, because those are awesome, right? Let's throw away all meaning and all tied. No,
and I
just
thought
cut
some of
to
it,
that.
like I saw,
go right to the point.
There was some more like logic in your B-roll cuts in Built Different. It's like
it was a sharper type of sample. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, I had consciously tried to limit them, but make them
better. Yeah, and
I don't know. They're like more abstract, but also more on the nose with what's happening in a weird way. I don't know how to.
When
like
you're
the
doing
door hinge thing.
When you're doing the for just as a quick example, there's an infinite loop you made on Instagram where you do a trick on a ledge drop ledge and go through the bars. Are you keyframing that in Premiere? Or are you going into After Effects?
Premiere. I just do it janky with masks, and I think the idea carries it more than the technical side of it. You know what I mean? I've never been good at After Effects. The only thing I do over there is like ramp slow-mo, and I use for 3D shit. I don't even use After Effects. I use Blender. I just get templates and put little blocks together, and all that 3D movie shit was all just Blender templates. All the stuff in the intro of
nice.
PD. I was
wondering if you did some of that from scratch, but there's no shot that you're recreating Walt Disney's. Yeah.
I mean, why would I do that when I can click something and just change the text? Right? I mean, that's part of my whole thing is shortcuts. Yeah, like the 360 camera, everything. Like you don't want to cut corners. You want to make sure that like what has the true value is like taking up the time, and that's like the riding and the hanging out. With
the shit that matters.
Filming of that shit. Yep.
The substance of it.
Going back to that question though, when I grew up, so I grew up like, kind of in a like lower class area, and then when I was in 6th grade, we moved to like a more upper class, like not the nicest part of it, but in the good school district, right? So like I went from being like in a predominantly lower middle class to like an upper class kind of school district, being like a kind of grubby, scrubby, like whatever, like, and that was kind of like me and my friends were like, I don't know, we kind of like linked at that point out of kind of having that in common. And then that house that we moved to, like, and I started making videos, that house is haunted as fuck. So there were times when I was editing all the BMX Foo videos where it felt like, got goosebumps right now, like something was controlling me and suggesting editing decisions at times, and songs slowing them down sometimes, and like the way it would, I would get in this flow state in that house only. I get in a different type here. I'm sure there's different editing spirits here. I believe in editing ghosts, you know?
Yeah.
That house that my dad bought when we moved there, he still lives there, was a funeral home before it was made into a house in the early 1900s. So I think it was the first 10 years from like 1911 to 1920 or whatever. It was a funeral parlor, and they would embalm the undertaker worked in either the basement or the garage. I'm not sure, but there's workspaces in both areas for.
Yeah.
We used it for bikes, but it was for bodies to be prepared to be shown.
Hot damn.
And that room, that like our computer growing up was like in the communal area before I started doing a MacBook in my room, and like that was the room that they would show like bodies in and shit. And I'd be up at 3 a.m. editing food videos, and like I would be at such a creative wall, and it was almost like this could be my own subconscious. This could be, I don't know what it is. I just know in that house, which by all measures seems to be very haunted. Like there were suggestions, like if you're open to ideas, like many ideas flew in.
Nice.
Many ideas. Yeah.
Ghosts.
Like
editing ghosts.
Ghosts have helped me edit all of my videos.
Hell yeah.
I'm open to their suggestions. Yeah. Cause like I'm not sure where ideas are coming from. And like I'm not going to rule out that it was a filmmaker who had his funeral at that house who's still there and has ideas that it bring value in today's
you should slow the song down.
Make his head explode. It would be cool.
Yeah, why did you blow off Justin's head?
I blew up. Oh, so that wasn't anything personal to Justin.
That's so funny.
This is, well, Justin blew up his own head like with stress during that time period.
Yeah,
too. So that's kind of a I've blown up. This is the other thing. I've blown up tons of people's heads. It's nothing personal. So I wanted to make sure and build different, that there was like one, like my and my friends BMX cinematic techniques, just a little bit here and there, like the color change, head explode. There's a couple other ones that are like throwbacks, callbacks kind of to old editing techniques, or maybe it's an old spot that we wrote, you know, like things like that. But a lot of that shit falls under like bringing old techniques to the new videos so that it ties it in outside of time, you know?
I like that.
This has one of each of the little tricks that I've learned, you know, like, and they all come together, and that's what each video is like the sum of my whole riding experience up to that point, you know, like this is what it is what I think.
Would you say this is the one you're most proud of putting together out of your whole career?
Any new one is the most proud, but this, man, like, so the BMX food videos are always going to be like the most special just because it's me and my friends making something out of nothing. But as far as doing like any kind of work with anyone else, this is far and above the most special, meaningful, personal project I've ever worked on. And the way I think it resonates with the brand S&M, with all the riders, the name describes the bikes, the riders, the team, the video. Like it's like a bike video about bike videos in a weird way. Like it's it's just like a classic format, but sort of trippy, like self-aware video. I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
That's
a pretty good description of it.
I wanted to keep it classic. And like my one friend, Brad Hill, worked on the food videos with me all the time. He had one of the best suggestions to make it not get too overwhelmingly odd or weird, like to give it a format, like the black screen with the rider name, classic shit, you know, like just putting that on the screen explains what people are watching. And then they're not as, you know, for real. They just know what you're trying to tell them in a little bit different way, and they're a little more focused maybe with their attention. Like my attention span is so short that I think that's what's helped me become an editor, you know? I'm like going off my own span.
Yeah, you did good, man. Good blend of getting weird and like progressive, but also just classic. Like
keep it to the format, but like there's like some kind of saying like the most elegant design is like a simple design, you know?
Yeah.
And like Hot Dogs You Can't Read to me was like, I did a lot of in-depth effects and editing and layers and bullshit, you know? Like instead of focusing more on, I mean, we worked so hard on the riding, and I'm not trying to discredit it, but with this video, the focus was mostly on how can I get the most out of all the riders on the team? You know, that was like the first question.
It was so cool to see so many riders, like international ones, like, and the one kid, Ariel, I had never seen him before.
REA.
Yeah, REA. I was like, holy
insane.
shit.
You ever forget how to pronounce it? It's REA.
REA.
That's his nickname.
Okay.
REA. REA. It's like, Ari Levinson is Yeah, what were you gonna say about him? I'm sorry,
No, it
interrupted
was
the shit
just
out of
cool to
you.
see like how many people are on SNM and the like diversity of the squad.
Generations, dude.
Yeah,
So yeah, like that's something as I get older too that I'm loving. Like BMX has changed to something for me where I can teach and I can help and I can
yeah.
give advice and information that's
Coach
valuable.
Coach Crumb.
Yes. Yeah, like in Mighty Ducks 2, when Charlie Conway, remember Adam Banks had that injury and he was
Yeah,
off the squad. And then when they got a new player in that was killing it, and then they went to bring back Adam Banks, but Charlie was like, I'll give him my spot.
I'll
I'll
give
give
him
him my
my
roster
spot.
spot and I'm going to be the assistant coach, which I don't think could happen in the middle of like a world championship Olympic tournament or whatever they were in, but it worked so good for the movie. Like he was like, but I see my value as, like here and he's better off doing that. So like if we go to a huge rail, Aria, man, you got this, like
Yeah, and he
he loves
coach,
it. He fucking
coach
loves
mode.
it.
I love
No, and
that.
like and same thing with like I try to offer just be open to all the young riders like Hallahans and everyone that I talk to with like advice whenever they need it or want it.
One moment.
I can't work like this. No, I'm just
I
joking.
can't.
One moment.
We
Okay.
I did a post for my boss where he says "fuck the IRS" in it, and
Apple.
we had to archive it, so I had to remove it from Facebook and Instagram. But it was
It doesn't
good.
exist.
It performed well.
Yeah, I mean, you want performance at all costs. No, I'm just joking.
Oh man,
Don't
it's
confuse
all
views
about the
with something being
views.
good. Don't
Yeah,
confuse
for
views
real.
with good. Like those aren't the same thing. They're
I
views. And if
100%
you're looking
agree.
for those, you can try to get them, but that doesn't mean it's good.
That's correct. Lino Gonzalez says, "Do you think we are living in a simulation?"
One of my favorite riders asked me a question.
Is it Lino? Is it the
I
real one?
think, yeah, we've had a couple talks about this. Lino and I can't remember the name of the bar, but Greg, Henry, and I went to Boston to hang out with the Motobunka guys and the 90 East guys, and we all had like a executive retreat for a week where we just filmed clips, and it's all in the Motobunka video. You could check it out. There's a 90 East section, a Foo section, but it was just cool, like to we're all from different places doing our thing, and we're all at a bar, and I started talking to Lino about the simulation thing, and he's like, "What do you mean?" And it's like, well, like over time, like we're learning now in our scientific world how to create pretty realistic AI simulations, right? With like millions of AIs and a neural network doing their thing, and then you can kind of pull answers to questions from that or whatever, right? Like a historical simulator could be possible. Video games are really realistic, and then mathematically those number of simulations would increase over time as a civilization becomes more technologically savvy. So the amount of simulated beings in the universe would start to escalate. Like how many of these AI simulations are we running? There's billions, if not trillions of those AI simulated becoming sentient things versus flesh and blood humans in the universe, right? So as all these scientists are creating millions of simulations with millions of people in the simulations, the odds start to stack that we are more likely a simulated being than a flesh and blood being.
Yeah.
In this model.
And yeah, that's well explained.
Explored in many forms of cinema, including the Matrix series, which I would, if you haven't enjoyed, particularly the first three. The fourth is okay, but the first three are the main ones. They brought that to the mainstream with that, but the idea has been around for like a really long time before computers. Even this was sort of like a philosophy thing.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I'm don't have a belief either way. But when I was telling this to Lino, our friend walks into the bar, and Abdul, the waviest dude out, and me and Lino are like deep in this simulation shit, and he's kind of like, oh man, like the numbers thing is like the number of them and the number, like mathematically, mathematically almost a complete probability that we would be in the, and then you get to the point of what's the difference, But Abdul walks in on that what's the difference shit, and we're like, yo, Abdul, you think it's a simulation? He's like, man, fuck it, simulation's lit. So that's my thought is, fuck it, dude,
fuck it, it's lit.
If it is, I love it, and shout out to the developers. Incredible fucking interface.
The graphics are insane, dude.
Graphics are nuts. I feel pain. All my chronic injuries I could still feel when I broke my wrist 10 years ago. It's amazing. It's so immersive.
It is weird to think about that. It doesn't
matter, really. Like
you wouldn't know.
Like you not be nice to people.
Imagine, like, how would you even get?
You think about it all day and never come up with an answer. So
Yeah,
like
for real.
it's good to like acknowledge that mathematical probability while maintaining love and respect in your relationships with your friends and coworkers.
All right. I'm looking for. Okay, Chris Childs says, "How fly is you really though?
Hmm.
How fly is you really though?
Like um like a big bird that can't really fly, but like still got wings. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty good. That's pretty flat. I'm
Flamingo.
skipping. We're
A pink
skipping them.
flamingo.
That's it, man. We've been going for like 3 hours.
Awesome. Let's cut it. We'll do
Yeah.
another one sometime.
The Mount Rushmore
A biking?
of bikers.
Dude, it's so hard to
I
pick
actually,
four.
before we started, I was like, okay, let's do Mount Rushmore of great riders, bad personalities. We'll skip that one. Mount Rushmore of free coaster riders.
Oof.
That one I think you can do.
Might have to just, it's almost hard to like break it down like that.
Everybody's.
I almost have to
free
just
coaster
do
rider
like
now.
I almost have to use the regular four.
Okay,
for
hit me with a regular 4.
And this is like taking into account so much like I'm gonna forget someone, you know.
Somebody's feelings gonna get hurt.
These are just like Van Holman, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it's like, here's the thing. It's like, do I put Edwin or Bob? Like Ed for the influence and the style that he gave to everyone. But then like the face could almost be half Bob, half Ed, because Ed was like the conduit and the artist behind the vision of the, like he recognized Ed's talent and
I'll allow it. They can share a
perfectly.
spot. Yeah.
And Bob was fucking shredding. Bob's riding is incredible too.
Okay, so that's 2. They share a face. Van Helmen, Bob Ed, and then
Like those two to me changed my course of my life. Like Can I Eat was like, you can pick up a cam with your friends and make it look dope.
So
you don't need a big budget. It's like low budget shit, you know, like DIY. Like the riders are filming.
Yeah.
There's no filmer, and that's the shit. Nothing against filmers. So that's 2 heads. Fucking A. Sean Swain on a personal level, like local, the best rider I've ever seen in my entire life to this day. I swear nobody rides like him, and he doesn't film anything, and it's just like this magic that you have to witness in person.
Okay.
And I can't explain the magic of Sean Swain. Like he learned like so many tricks by himself on a fly out jump on shrooms. Like I shouldn't be airing him out like this so much, but he's amazing. It's so sick, dude. It's so awesome. I fucking love it. Backflip, learning by himself, dude. Like
nice
onto grass, like, dude, like, and then the techniques, like he rides fakie at a vertical wall from flat and does a fakie Reuben. Like, I'll send you the clip.
Yeah,
he does this all the time. It's fucking insane, and he's just hops from like 5 feet away and lands on like no one rides a bike
crazy.
like this guy.
Yeah,
and he's one of my best friends, but one of the driving forces behind why we all ended up like, you need to see good riding to be able to like even start the process how to do it yourself step by step or whatever, dude. And then the 4th one, dude, we might just put him on there. Fuck it. Like, him number 4. It's Chris Doyle. Fuck it. That is a crazy looking Mount Rushmore visually.
I love it, man.
Yeah. And then if there was a 5th head, it would be the 360 camera.
The 360 camera is important.
Yeah.
Shit, man. That'll do it. I can't think of anything else. It's good to see you. Yeah.
Good to see you too, man.
It's been a hot minute. Yeah.
Let's cut it off. Talk about some real shit.
All right. Later, nerds. Hello, you've reached the end of the video. Thank you for watching it all the way through. Holy shit, you got a long attention span. Good job. See you next week. Happy New Year. Shout out Dig.